live? You live?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hold on one sec. I hate the title because it wasn't just McClung who actually had a good showing.
I hate the fact that people try to act like they didn't know who Mac McClung was. That was corny to me. Like we all know who Mac McClung is. We remember him from the crazy YouTube highlights when he was in high school. You know what I'm saying? He played at Georgetown. He played down at Texas Tech or yeah. But
Yeah,
everybody
Texas Tech.
everybody knows who Mac McClung is. I think that was corny out of all the announcers and stuff.
Nobody knew who Mac McClung is, bro. I'm sorry,
Dub,
Bobby.
stop.
Casuals. So if you didn't know,
That's
then
the exact
that
point.
proves.
That's the exact point,
Okay, we
though.
don't
Well,
we don't
how
care.
do they
We don't
know?
care about the opinions of casuals. I don't.
But
You
that
don't think
mean if the majority of people don't know who he is, then they're saying that nobody knew who this is. That's the
Pe-
majority, right?
Duh,
oh,
people know who
really?
Mac McClung is, bro. Just if
People know, but the majority doesn't, Bobby.
how are you in the basketball community and don't know who Mac McClung is? What is that? What type of sense is
Because
that, man?
it's because
Chat,
a
chat.
lot of
Is there
people don't
anybody
be
that doesn't know
diving.
me?
A
Huh?
lot of people don't dive into the game as much as everybody else,
Okay,
bro.
but I'm talking about people that are actual people that actually like basketball. I'm not concerned with
But the
those people.
announcers are talking, and they're mainly talking to the masses. A lot of the masses don't watch basketball like that,
The,
so it's like
that's just a narrative they was trying to create. Everybody knows who Mac McClung is, bro, and you can't convince me otherwise.
I'm just saying. If we talk about what they're doing out doing their job, which is talking to a lot of the masses, and masses are casuals. I'm not mad at them for saying that. Like, which is not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I will say that I was pleasantly surprised at just the overall dunk contest. It was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Trey
Um,
Murphy. Woo!
Trey
It
Murphy
was
was disgusting.
it was fire.
Um,
I've been trying to tell y'all about Trey Murphy. I don't want to hear nothing. I've been trying to tell y'all Trey the truth.
the only one that was
Just because you could,
disappointing was Buddy from the Knicks.
Jericho
yeah,
Jericho Si-
I,
Jericho
Jericho
Sims
Sims.
was
Bro,
I had him winning.
what was he doing?
so Ron. You know how we was talking about the elbow dunks and everything, like literally the episode before this.
Hmm.
Hey,
Jer-
one second.
I
Oh, my
think
bad.
so. The fact that he's 7 foot, I think that's what hurt him, right?
He's not quite 7 foot, but I get what you're saying though. I get
Yeah,
what
yeah, he's
He's
so
about
tall, so
6'10",
it's like
6'11".
bro, you doing elbow dunks is like you tall as hell and you got bunnies. Like do some like do a 360 elbow or like I don't know windmill elbow or through the leg elbow, but you
no,
just doing
I hear
basic
what
elbow
you're saying.
dunks. Is like come on, man.
I hear what you're saying, but like you got to understand how much force that is, especially a dude that big and that strong doing a windmill dunk and sticking his elbow in the rim. He
Yeah,
might mess around and snap his elbow or something. So
you're right about that.
he can't really do that. But on top of that, bro, I'm throwing Jericho some bail. The rim's not that big, and he's a massive guy. For him to try to get both elbows in the rim, you know how hard that is. So like,
Nah,
bro,
that one I thought it was kind of hard, but he didn't get both in.
he
He got
didn't.
He
one
couldn't
in,
even get
and
the
then
left wrist
he
in.
felt yeah, he just pushed the other one in. It was like
Not
like,
for
Hey,
sure.
JD,
Good.
I got one of the coaches here from Weber State. They said they would say something about Dan winning the
Yes,
student 3-point contest. That's cool.
please. Yes,
Okay,
please.
here, I'll take it. So,
Yeah, bot.
yeah.
What's up, coach?
Hey, how's
what's
it
good,
going?
fam?
Chilling, man. How are you?
Good, good.
How jacked were you last night watching Dame win that 3-point contest?
Oh man, that was great for us and our, program. I wasn't around to coach him, but he comes back every summer and he's always been really loyal to Weber State, and so it was great to see him out there and doing what he does and wearing a Weber State jersey. I mean, that it means a lot.
Yeah, that was the best part of it all. Ron, you have any questions?
I heard you guys got a big win last night.
Yep, beat Portland State. Good team. They're really athletic, always really talented. So it was a good day all in all for the Wildcats.
Facts. We got a lot of youth that tune in, a lot of younger high school players that watch. So I mean, you guys see Weber State is trending; it's on the up and up. You guys give them some good consideration.
No, absolutely. Obviously Dame out there does a lot for us recruiting wise, and everybody's seeing him out there, and we're playing well this season. And so, no, it's been it's been really good.
Yeah,
Amazing.
okay. Hey, you want to tell us a little bit more about what you guys got going on for the rest of the season and how you guys are trying to finish?
Yeah, we got 3 games left, conference games for the tournament. Right now we're sitting in third, and so we just need to finish strong, one game at a time. We got Eastern Washington who's in first coming up, and so at home. So we just need to play well, keep doing what we're doing, and try to hopefully keep winning these games down the stretch.
Yeah, most definitely. We for sure rooting for you guys. You know, I'm a Washington guy, but hey, hey, I'm rooting for you guys to go ahead and beat them.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, hey guys, thanks for having me on. I gotta go catch this flight, but hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
Thanks for joining, Coach.
Yeah, take care.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks a lot, man. Good luck the rest of the season. Thanks a lot.
So fire, Bob.
Hey, Bob, where you going?
What'd you say?
Where you going?
Oh man, that was so fire.
What'd you say, Ron?
Where you going?
Oh shit, I'm gonna head to Mexico to run this little basketball camp down in Merida in the Yucatan.
Oh, okay, you going to set up Lucra and Kyrie's trip to Cancun?
Yeah, I'm gonna have them ready to go before we knock them out first round.
JD, you get the Hawaiian shirts ready.
Fire. I'm not gonna lie. When Bobby said that the coach was walking around and he was gonna grab him, I did not think you were actually gonna grab him. That was elite.
Why would I not grab him?
No, that was fire. That was dope.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if he would have any words. That was pretty cool about it.
That's dope, man.
JD, I had two businesses I had to pick between pitching to the coach. So, I guess I made the right choice.
All right, you extended your contract for the next. We'll see. Years,
Speaking of defense and whatnot, I seen a bozo yesterday in downtown Seattle.
I did too. I saw two of them actually.
Yo, PSP, what's going on, bro?
Nah, man, chilling. Enjoying my Sunday. And just All-Star weekend, I was actually happy with the dunk contest, man, because you and we were texting. I thought if we were going to see anything similar to last year's dunk contest, man, they should just throw it away once and for all. But thank God McClung saved the dunk contest. So, but the 3-point shooting contest, that was big time with Dame Dollar. So yeah.
Dub, I want to go back to because Dub said that McClung didn't save the dunk contest. Bro, he definitely saved the dunk contest.
Say that.
If he didn't save the dunk contest, he revived it for sure.
The thing is, it wasn't. I literally said it wasn't just him having a good outing. That's all.
That is
Trey
a fact,
Murphy.
though,
yeah, that's a fact. Sure.
Trey Murphy did a phenomenal job. I thought his dunks was amazing as well. Kenyon Martin getting a lot of hate because he missed a lot, but when I just watched the dunks, I was like, his dunks was.
He was trying difficult dunks, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I will say the only reason that I'm on like the McClung save the dunk contest train is because every dunk that he did, I don't think that I've ever seen in a dunk contest.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He also never he got every single one of his dunks on the first try, so it's that wow factor of like you haven't seen it and you didn't know it was coming, and he finished on the first one, and he got like 2 or 3 rounds, all 50s. So it was actually entertaining. I usually don't watch All-Star Weekend because it's just like whatever to me, but I actually watched all 3 skills, dunk, and 3-point this year, and I was entertained.
That first dunk was mad impressive, though.
All of them were
insane.
Yeah.
I hope the NBA.
When he came and did it, nobody knew that he put it off the backboard first. So we were all like, I mean, that's dope. You jumped over 2 people, especially the way he set it up. Remember, he was running up and then he stopped and then he made the dude get on the other dude's back. And then so we're like, oh, okay. But then when he did it and threw it through, it was like, okay, that was clean. Then when they showed the angle of him putting it off the glass,
that was fire.
Well, I damn near ran out the room and started running around like, oh, all right, he trying to put on a show today.
Yeah, you could tell by the reactions of the players watching from the side that he did something else, because from first glance, like you've seen plenty of players jump over guys, and like granted, yes, it's 2 people stacked on top of each other. But the way that they reacted, it wasn't like a normal, oh, he just jumped over a dude and dunked it. And then when they show that side angle, you're like, no way that this is happening.
Nah,
but,
he did some wild shit. And
bro,
I hope the NBA looks at this and, take a step in the right direction of, we talked about this before, bringing other guys outside of the NBA to sit here and showcase their talents on the dunk contest. Because McClung is in the G League, right? Like he just got put on the Philadelphia Sixers, right?
Two-way.
This is Mac McClung and Bobby. I do hear your point that yes, he's been doing this for a very long time, but there's also a lot of guys in the world who's been doing this for a long time as well, who has a lot of great dunks to showcase. So I think the NBA should use this as a step in the right direction. So you know what, we don't have to just put guys who only play in the NBA. We could bring guys out there that
Borrow dunkers.
are doing dunk contest shows, are in the Euro League or in other leagues and showcasing their skills in that way, and bring them to the dunk contest so we could see more creativity like this.
A damn Dub, you actually just spit right there. A dunk contest with players from different leagues would be elite. I don't know if the NBA would go for that just because of like they don't want their competition you know. But who knows? That would be elite. I would love that.
I just want to see the best dunkers in the world. That's my whole thing. I don't care about leagues or anything. That politics stuff, they need to get over it, bro. Listen, I just want to see the best dunkers in the world, bro. That's all I want.
We had Chris Staples
I want to see Jalen LeCue.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good one.
Jalen LeCue?
Yeah, Jalen LeCue.
I want to see him. I want to see him jump.
I'm trying to tell you guys, and I was texting with PSG. And he was asking me, Ron, is the dunk contest overrated? Do they need to throw it away? And I was just like, they need to abolish it. They need to get rid of it. We've seen every dunk a million times. Now, Dub, I hear what you're saying. Trey Murphy did have a good outing, but the reason why I'm gonna say that Mac McClung literally single-handedly revived the dunk contest is because if you take him out of there and take anybody from the last, put anybody else in there. After his third dunk,
right,
we would have been like, all right, this is boring. If you take all the Mac McClung's dunks out, we would have been like, this is boring. What are we watching? And I guarantee you Trey Murphy's dunks wouldn't even been all of that if Mac McClung wouldn't have been there. It was just the fact that they kind of had some competition and a little bit of back and forth. But, bro, that dunk contest after the third dunk, it would have been like, all right, man, we're tired of watching this. We've seen this already. Mac McClung literally stole the show. Man, I mean, yeah, he had a backstory, but every dunk was damn near 50 worthy.
Nah, he definitely did. Like, he did have the best outing, like 100%. I just think that Trey Murphy did a great job as well. That's my whole point. Trey did amazing work.
Trey deserves credit. He deserves credit.
Mm-hmm. So he also deserves credit of making it at least putting Mac McClung in a position to be like, you know what? I gotta sit here and put a show on too, because this guy's putting on a show as well. You feel me? And they both put on a show. I loved it. I liked it.
No, I'm not gonna lie. They did have a good that second round was good, that final round. But I think the judges overrated his last dunk a little bit, but it did help the dunk contest because I think they gave him like a 47.8 or something like that. It was like somewhere in that range. And so it was like, Mac, you damn near gotta get it. I know his total score was 98. So Mac had a 50 already, so he at least had to get, a 48. And so it's like, Mac, you got to come with something. Otherwise, he's damn near going to steal the dunk contest from you. And
bro,
he did that last dunk. That was crazy.
And
how good would that have felt to get that reaction out of the superstars like that? Like, you have the biggest superstars in the NBA standing right there on the sideline, going bonkers over your dunks. You're a G League guy. You're trying to make it into the NBA, and you're just like you have these superstars in awe. Like, that had to have been the best feeling in the world.
That would be dope.
And
that goes to my point.
Social media. He was trending on Twitter.
Yeah. So yeah, that goes further into my point where, bringing guys that's not really around that type of crowd, just how meaningful that is for them, and then putting them on the map, or let's say if they're doing other organizations or something like that, putting that on the map as well, and just putting the content out there for the NBA. I mean, it'll be amazing. And I think Euro disagrees as well. I seen him in the chat, and mainly because like people, let's say if it's from different leagues, I think there's more of a sense of pride because now it's like you got people from different leagues. Oh, now it's more competitive. Like, I don't want this guy from the Euro League. I don't want this guy from this type of league showing up to NBA. So shoot, now I got to step my game up now. Now I got to work on my craft now because now I got all these guys showing us up, and we supposed to be the best in the world of doing this. So I just think it will create a better product overall.
I could
Ron, we're just brainstorming. We're just brainstorming right now.
Oh no, I got you. Okay.
Because we're saying that could. If you see guys, they don't care like that right now because they don't have that comp.
You come up here scared of debate today. I got you.
No, but Ron, let me ask, like Ron, because right now they looking at it, right? They're like, it's just NBA guys. We just here, we just dunking and everything. That's cool. But now you bringing guys from other leagues showing us up, and now people question, dag, are these guys better athletes than guys in the NBA? Do they care more?
That's why we dropped. That's why it's the same thing that's going on in Players' Choice right now. We got guys like you that's scared to dunk today, so we got to bring up guys like PSP from outside leagues to go ahead and put on a show.
What are you talking about?
Very similar.
Ron, what do you, Ron? What do you want to debate about? What do you want to debate about? No. Now you got me here. What do you want me to debate about, Ron? What is it? Come on,
Dub, he's saying
you ain't got nobody.
Ron, what do you want to debate about?
Dub, he's saying you came to Fried, you didn't come to Pod. You gonna take that, Dub?
I'm wondering. What does he want to debate about?
Real quick before y'all get into the nitty gritty though, Dub, I wanted to say,
shut up.
I wanted to say two things because I just strongly disagree with the whole Mac McClung take. It's like this isn't new to Mac McClung. He played at Georgetown. You know, he's been in front of the lights before. He got well, I want to say he got drafted late to the Lakers or just signed pulled up. And like I said, you remember when Mac McClung was trending? He's been in big dunk contests, like not like this, obviously, but you know he's dunked in front of famous people and these big guys. They all know who Mac McClung is. You know what I'm saying? I hate that they want to drive that narrative like he's just a nobody because you know if you're not Kevin Durant or LeBron James, you're nobody. But Mac McClung, especially in the dunking world and all that, he's him. Like everybody knows Mac McClung.
And with that being said, too, like, bro, Mac McClung got game. And y'all can say what y'all want to. Y'all can say, oh, he's not that good, Ron, this, that, and the third. Yo, I watched Mac McClung play in high school. I watched him play in college at Georgetown and at Texas Tech, where they were a good team. Mac McClung got game. I watched him play in the G League. If you've been paying attention, he's been putting up numbers and having good games in the G League. I think
G League Rookie of the Year.
You said what?
No, he won G League Rookie of the Year in 2022.
Say that one more time.
He won G League Rookie of the Year in 2022.
And so
I didn't know that. That's fine.
Mac McClung really got game. I think he should.
I mean, I seen him hoop. I just didn't know he got Rookie of the Year.
No, I legitimately think he should be at least on the end of somebody's bench, if not getting fringe minutes. I do think he's that good. He's that explosive. He's not just a dunker. Dude is
but also, Dub, when you were saying about the outside leagues coming into the dunk contest, I'm really not mad at that. But I think they'd have to format it in a way where it's like they bring 3 guys, then we got 3 NBA guys and 3 G League guys or something like that, and then they kind of do like an NBA versus them, or you know what I'm saying, something like that. I think,
now.
I think that'd be fire. I think that'd be fire. Like all their points.
Pride, though.
Yep.
All their points collected.
Yep.
I think that's fire.
So
that'd be dope. I would like to see that. I do think the NBA would definitely get fried, but it'd still be cool though.
That promotes them to, you know, that gives them more motivation to work on their game. You feel me? That's the way I look at it. No, getting showed up is like nobody likes losing. Everybody hates losing, right?
When
you getting showed up by other guys, it's like, nah, now I got to work on my craft. Now I got to get better. And now everybody's competing with one another.
I'm telling your ideas, Zay. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Did he put that in the chat? I didn't see
Dame, two things. I want to talk about the 3-point contest real quick. Dame finally got that silverware. 3 things.
Silverware?
What? Come on, dog.
Oh, wait. No, my bad. He has a bubble MVP.
Damn. Dame getting a fork and a knife is crazy.
Yeah, Dame getting some
finally getting
utensils.
Yeah, he got.
Because he's eating Dub, is that why?
Oh, wait. Did I say hardware?
There you go.
My bad.
Nuts.
Hardware. My bad. He has an MVP, though. Fire. Yeah, he has a bubble MVP, though. I forgot about that. Kevin Huerter. I thought he would be. I thought he was going to do a lot better. But you let Julius Randle have more than you? What's wrong with you, man?
I thought Julius Randle would get no more than 5.
Yo, like I said in the chat, JD.
No.
Yo, Kevin Huerter's a big shot maker. That little competition shit ain't nothing to him. You know, he a big dog. He a real killer. He don't care about none of this.
And look what he did.
Well, I mean, that's, you know, Dame, I'm not trying to compare the two. Dame really, you know, He get
Is
down
a
in
killer,
any
yes.
circumstance.
Now, if this was
Yeah,
Buddy Hield,
he's a serial killer. Fuck Buddy Hield.
Kevin
if this was
Huerter's
Buddy
knees were
Hield having
shaking.
8 points, you would not be talking about him in that way.
But Buddy's a bozo. He's garbage. Like he's not.
Buddy
he's
Hield
not-
walks
he's-
right behind him.
So, buddy.
I don't give. Man, look, look. We all know this. Buddy Hield is not a big shot maker. Kevin Huerter is a big shot maker.
Yo, breaking news.
Simple.
What?
It says they plan to sign him, but I think Kevin Love
to Miami.
going to South Beach. Hey, he go see what we need Kevin Love to do is get on ESPN, make a whole segment, and say not one, not two, not three.
No. Let's not.
I'm coming to Miami to do what LeBron couldn't do.
Because now I gotta hold him accountable for that. If he
Who?
don't deliver, Kevin Love. If he don't deliver, now he's breaking promises.
Oh,
We won't like that. We won't like that upper players.
I would like the record to show for All-Star Weekend thus far. I am 3 for 3, by the way. I have picked every winner of all these competitions so far.
Fire.
Ooh.
And I have Lauri Markkanen winning the MVP.
Yo, is
All-Star
that draft about to happen in a second, right?
Said what?
That draft's about to happen live while we're on the show.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. I think they are. I
JD,
don't like
JD,
that
you pick
because
Mac?
I think they should have did it yesterday, the draft or some shit. Because
That
then I
would've-
know what to bet on.
I picked McClung because I was like, bro, only guy, G League, gotta win. I picked Anthony Simons if he were going to do it, but we found out that he hurt his knee, so I said, if Anthony's not in it, I'm taking Dame. And then I was the only person that took the Jazz, by the way. Everyone took the rookies for a skills competition. You guys are bozos.
Hold on, did you guys watch that?
Yeah, I
The
did.
one where they were shooting?
I didn't watch
That
that.
That was embarrassing.
Terrible outing
That was
for
embarrassing.
everybody.
Oh my God, the Antetokounmpos looked lost out there. Oh my God, bro, they're like, what?
I know Drew was like, man, why y'all got me out here with these guys?
He wasn't hitting nothing either though.
He wasn't.
did it.
Yeah, he was broke.
He had a couple.
He was broke too.
He was broke, but he made a couple.
Wait, so y'all watched the skills comp? Because I didn't watch it at all. I didn't.
I did.
I
It was
didn't
actually okay. Obviously, it's not the most entertaining at all. It's the least entertaining of the three for sure. But like, I appreciate what they've done over the years to get it to where it's at now, and the kind of stuff that they do, as opposed to what it used to be, where you're just dribbling around, bounce pass, dribble around, chest pass, dribble around, layup.
JD.
Yeah.
JD. I know this is a little bit off topic, right? But the D gates are all the flights that are like connected and going to Mexico. And let me tell you, I went crazy in here.
Hey, hold on, hold that flight up. I'll be there. Hold on, wait.
Yo, JD, it's nuts
I'm
in
on
here.
my way.
I'm so happy for you.
God.
So happy
Hey,
for you.
Bob, you gonna get the beach ball popping on the plane? Slap it around.
The NBA does need to bring in 1v1s. I'm not even holding you, bro. I don't
All-Star-
care. I don't care if it's like with the best guys, bro. I just want 1v1s. I want to see that.
All-Star draft is at 4:30 p.m. That doesn't
Eastern?
make sense though.
Gotta be
No,
Eastern.
Pacific. Are they doing it on the court, like picking them right there? Like, hey,
I
Don't
wouldn't
they-
mind that.
I thought they
wouldn't
did
mind
it
that.
like a day before usually.
They
Nah,
should
they-
do it at half court right before the game.
Yeah, like dodgeball.
Like
Tell
OPG.
me on the
No,
court
that's what
prior
they're
to
doing.
the game.
The game starts at 4:30 Pacific,
then-
and they're doing it like literally right before the game.
I like that. I think it's dope.
30 minutes before tip-off.
I
yeah.
feel bad for who gets picked last.
Bro, that's so awkward. That is so
You guys see
fire
what
though.
KD said about that? Somebody asked them a question about like how would it feel to be the last person taken, and he basically said it's like being the brokest millionaire amongst billionaires.
That's still crazy though.
Being a millionaire amongst billionaires and feeling like they're just another echelon's crazy.
That's
Kevin
what's
Herter.
wrong with people. They need to stay out of everybody else's pockets.
It's
You know what I'm
facts.
saying? Shit, if you content, don't worry about what the next man got.
We got the chat tapping in about All-Star Weekend here. Drink more water with the super chat. Does the NBA have the best All-Star game weekend? I don't even know how that's a question.
Shout out
Probably-
drink more water.
Yeah, probably compared to everybody else. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Have you even
easy.
heard of any other All-Star Weekend?
Oh, like the Pro Bowls and stuff like that, and the hockey whenever they do their thing. MLB.
The home run derby and shit.
Oh,
Home
I
run
thought,
derby.
bro, I'm tripping. I thought he was talking about other basketball leagues.
Jesus Christ. I think it would.
NBA
The
All-Star by
Well, the Pro
far
Bowl is
better
definitely
than
last.
the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is just a joke.
Pro Bowl is terrible. The
You
home
don't
run
like flag
derby.
football?
Huh?
You guys don't like flag football?
Come
Nah, that
on,
shit
bro.
is still trash.
Nah, man, it's just boring. I mean, it's just unwatchable to watch the Pro Bowl nowadays, man. It's just a joke.
What's it called? Yeah. So probably the home run derbies probably was gonna give the NBA some comp, but outside of that, NBA got it. Like they're the best out of everybody.
Yeah, I think this is so corny. I'm looking at the chat and they're talking about they're not going to do it like out in the open so that they don't want to embarrass the last man. Is that true?
No way.
I heard it's supposed to be a half court.
Oh my god, that's what is it, bullying or some shit?
Well, look, check this out, Bob. Since they don't want to do it,
It's
like I said, when
gaslighting.
it comes to the airport, we should just go draft everybody.
No,
That's
no,
Oh my
no,
God.
it's just they just.
I know you hate that.
Jamal Williams. I agree with KD. What happened to All-Star Weekend being sacred? If you haven't seen it, KD was asked about people just not participating in the contest, 3-point dunk contest, whatever skills competition. Just All-Star Weekend. And, taking that weekend off. And he said, I thought, this was supposed to be a sacred weekend. So your thoughts on KD's comments about this? Do you agree?
What does he mean by sacred?
McClung.
So it's supposed to be kind of like wearing a badge of honor, right? If you
It was meaningful. It was
get
meaningful.
selected, to participate in an All-Star Weekend, whether it's 3-point contest, skills competition, dunk contest, whatever. There's a lot of people who just don't want to be a part of it, so it's kind of lost its appeal for sure. But it used to mean something. I saw on Twitter this morning. I forgot about this, but Chris Paul, LeBron, Kobe, and Dwayne Wade all did a skills competition. It was like an 06 or 08 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're not gonna.
Now you don't see the young guys doing that at all.
Well, you're not gonna get that superstar caliber competition in any of these anymore.
It's not even about that, but it's about those young guys coming up, at least doing an all-star game, making appearances, showcasing that. I mean, I guess that's the day and age of today's society, bro. I mean, it is what it is. I don't like it. I agree with Katie. I don't like it. I think it should be sacred. It should be taken way more serious. That way, we could just have a better outcome. But I mean, that's just the way that this generation is coming up right now, and I mean, it is what it is. I can't do anything. I don't think anybody could really do anything to fix that. It's just the way that they are now. I mean, nobody cares about it.
Facts.
It's what it is.
Nobody cares about anything now. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
It's
You're right.
It's not nowadays. It's not cool to care. It's cool. It's cool to be like,
It's cool to not care and not take it serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being nonchalant is the new way to go.
Yeah, I don't agree with you either. Because the whole thing, a lot of people who try to defend guys who sit out, injuries. Let's be real. When's the last time we seen somebody get hurt in an All-Star Weekend?
I don't think I ever saw it before.
Nobody. I don't think I've ever seen in my lifetime either. So it's come on, bro. At least put a show out. It's in my opinion, it's a job. It's your job. Put a show out for the fans. Give them something that that they'll be excited for, to look forward to. Because in my opinion, if I got to put on a show if my job is to put on a show for people, I'm gonna make the most out of it. Because I would want that job over any other job in the world. You feel me?
Do winners
That's his job here, W.
That's my job here, and I love it. I'm not gonna. That's fucked up. But two, by technicality, our job is to put on a show, and I'm not gonna just sit out just cause it's for no reason. It's just weird. I don't get that. Why wouldn't you want to put on a show for people?
Does
It's
anyone...
have a level of appreciation for the people taking their time out or paychecks, the money out of their paychecks to go see you. Have some appreciation for that, man.
Does anyone know outside of a trophy if there's a prize, a monetary prize or anything? Probably
I don't know.
Right?
I do think that they get a little compensation. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a little something.
It's probably the only way to get them to do it now. TMF Willie with the super chat. If the dunk contest had different leagues, could have star players in the NBA participating in the dunk contest again. Quite possibly. Brandon Thompson. Could the NBA offer $250,000 type cars as prizes guys would compete for the flex? And second, they should make players within the first 3 years compete in the dunk contest and allowed to defend it twice if they win. Just forcing them, hey, you're in the dunk contest.
It used to be players used to win cars. Remember when it was Kia? I mean, obviously it wasn't, it wasn't a Porsche or a Lamborghini or anything like that. It wasn't a Bentley, but Kia used to always give away cars. I think Blake Griffin won a couple Kias when he won his dunk contest. That's when when Kia was sponsoring it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not for the idea of getting like that much money or this $1 million, $250,000 worth. Even then, $250,000 worth of cars, like they don't really care about that either. But I'm not with the whole NBA trying to really incentivize this to a crazy amount so that these guys could be motivated to do this. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think they should. I don't think they should do that.
They get viral dunkers.
I think they should just bring up other guys who wants to be a part of the contest, wants to take this serious, and wants to, make a name for themselves. And maybe this is a way that they can do that. I'm not going to sit here and if these guys don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. I can't change that. It is what it is. I'm not going to pay you an extra dollar amount just because. No, screw that. I'm going to find other people who's motivated, who wants to put on a show, and then they can do it. And then they could get put on the map.
I do feel you, Dub, because it'd take little lifting for the NBA to get these other guys to come up there and do it. These guys to go up there and do it for 50 bands.
Yeah, like
as opposed to, doing all the extra stuff, and dudes will put on a 10 times better show.
Yeah, so I'm not wasting money. Like that's just wasting money for you guys. I'm literally just, and that goes to Shaq's point where I do agree with Shaq on that. It's literally players just having control over everything. It's ridiculous, bro. Screw that.
As crazy as this sounds, I'm about to ask. Do you think that the players are scared of doing the dunk contest? Because that's how I'm starting to feel. Like LeBron, like I remember in the 2009 dunk contest, he said he was going to do it in 2010. Well, it's been 13 years, and still we haven't seen LeBron in the dunk contest. Is that fair to say, or am I reaching?
Braun always making promises he can't keep.
I think some of these dudes are scared to lose.
I think everybody's different. So maybe in some cases they are, some cases they not. I don't know them on a personal level to try and say that, but I wouldn't write it off, I just don't know them like that, so I wouldn't try to promote that narrative, but I'm open to the idea.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them just don't care. I'm not gonna hold you. I just think so.
Even if you try to compensate them, they'll still reject it.
They're like, fuck it, I don't
just
care.
give it to somebody who's more deserving of it, someone who you feel like that can do just a good enough job and just get it over with.
And exactly. I don't want to be the type of guy that says, oh, everything isn't about winning and everything shouldn't be competitive. But the dunk contest alone is one thing where it's more so about putting on a show. Like I think even if LeBron would have entered the dunk contest and came in second or third, I think him just being there would have raised the aura of it. And on top of that, I think it would have probably been one of the most anticipated dunk contests. Now, yes, it's LeBron, so if he would have lost, it'd be people today still saying, "Oh, well, LeBron's not the GOAT because he didn't win the 2004 dunk."
Oh my God, yeah, for sure. Crunch.
I'm not gonna lie, that could be voices from like outside voices from LeBron James, like in his inner circle, where like the guys sitting here like, nah, well, you gotta look at it like this, like the name you're building for yourself, something like this. A lot of people will try to use this to criticize and scrutinize you. So he's like, maybe you should just not do this. That way they don't have a talking point like that because of who you are and who you will become. So I wouldn't sit here and say that that's LeBron being scared, but maybe listening to his inner circle and their advice of this could be used for something against you. And LeBron's like, okay, I guess I hear where you guys are coming from. Like there's so many factors that's into that. So I can't just sit here and say like they're afraid to do it.
So all right, y'all, I gotta go about the board.
Be safe, Bobby.
Well,
Bobby, take it easy, dog.
Goodbye, Bob.
Hey, Bob, can you keep your promise?
Wait. Is this the GOAT calculator?
That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT.
What's up, bro?
Yo, what's up? How's it going, Bobby?
Peace. All right, y'all.
Hey, Bob.
I thought he was gonna ask him a question. I thought he was gonna ask him.
Said sup, flexed on him, and then said peace out. That was crazy.
That is hilarious, bro.
My God.
I love Bobby. He just wanted to say hi. That's all. I love him for that. He's a nice guy.
Yo, Goat, what's
What's up,
good,
Dev? How
bro?
you going?
Chilling, bro.
It's good. It's
You know
good.
you're a legend. Do you know that? You're a
Still
legend.
trying to. I'm a legend.
Yeah, yeah. You
Why am I a
created a
legend?
formula. You created a formula to analyze the greatest players of all time.
And we have to hear all about this.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, you have to try to keep up with me because I'm still just waking up. I'm over here in Hawaii time. So I
Oh,
was
okay.
Oh
trying to catch up with you guys.
wow. That's fire.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
You're
What
over
part of
there
Hawaii
in
you in?
Hawaii.
I would try to join more shows, but it's just tough. You know.
What time is it?
But right now
It's like 6
7:30.
a.m. Oh, 7:30.
AM?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's tough.
And Ron was over here criticizing you for not making the show, bro. It's crazy. He's over at 7:30 in the morning.
Oh,
Ridiculous.
that's it.
And
See,
JD.
y'all need to wake up and be motivated.
Oh man.
6 o'clock is when a real hustler's supposed to get up. But hey, I ain't gonna dig into that
Oh.
though. I ain't
Talk
gonna
to
do
him. Talk to him. You
Well,
got
hey,
it.
you know, I was trying to mess with those links for a while. They weren't working out for me. They kept sending me to the homepage, but it's all good.
Yeah, appreciate you for joining though, bro. I know it's a little early over there, but I appreciate you for tapping in. Do you want to let us know like the philosophy surrounding like your GOAT calculator? And first off, actually drop like your social so people can go and like see exactly what we talking about when we're talking about the GOAT calculator.
Yeah, so my main social media page is on Instagram. It's at the GOAT calculator, all just one word. And I also have a website, goatcalculator.com. So most of the information that you'd want to see is on those two places. And yeah, so my philosophy was a few years ago. After all the debate shows, media personalities debating about who's the greatest, everyone has their own criteria. It's just like I became, as a fan, like just frustrated with the discussion. So I wanted to see if there's a way that I could break down everybody's career without bias, just every year, every game, and just see what comes out if I can make it at least somewhat accurate. And I just refined it over time, over and over, and now I have it where it's at.
Is there a specific formula? Like, is MXY plus B something that you look at like that? Like, it's like, is there really a specific formula?
Kinda. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but yeah, it's the same process for every single player. Yeah. So I break it down into 7 different categories. That's how I do it. I think that's what most people will look at when they look at a player's career and talk about their greatness. Is they look at all the like rings or what they did in the playoffs, their stats, like their career accolades and accomplishments. For me, the whole thing is talking about a player's legacy rather than as a player. So I know some people would like to look at player versus player debate and look at skills and stuff, but for me, I'm looking at legacy. So what you accomplish matters in terms of awards and what you win and stuff.
Got you. Yo, PSP, you got your top 10?
Top 10 what, greatest players of all time?
Yeah.
I have Michael 1.
Ron, what are you doing?
We're doing it now?
I want to hear his top 10 compared to the GOATs.
You want to hear mine right now?
What?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to hear it right now.
Ron.
You asked me this question because I wasn't
You got it, Ron.
anticipating this,
You got
but
it.
since you asked me, I guess I got Michael 1. I got Braun 2. I got Kareem 3. It's tough. I mean, I'm still trying to think about it.
Hold on. Take your time. You don't got to try to force it right now. Think about it and then let us know before the show's over. But GOAT though, I want to know like your top 10 though, and then we'll stack everybody's
One of my
top
personal
10.
top 10.
No. Well, so hold on. Your personal top 10 is not the GOAT calculator top 10?
No.
Wow.
I have different criteria I have a different criteria than the GOAT calculator. Like I tend to value peaks a little bit more, whereas the GOAT calculator, I made it so it's more 50-50 with peak and longevity.
Oh my God.
All right.
What's the GOAT calculator's top 10?
Let's hear it.
Not yours, the GOAT calculator.
Well, right now I'm almost okay. Right now it's got Shaq at 10, Hakeem at 9, Tim Duncan at 8, Larry Bird at 7, Bill Russell at 6. And I haven't yet posted top 5, so you'll have to pay attention and wait for it.
Got you.
Oh my God! If Kobe's not in there, I'm gonna be so angry.
Wait, Doug, you have Kobe top 5?
Easy. I would have Kobe top 5 easy. Top 3 actually, bro.
Is there anybody up here that doesn't have Kobe top 5?
So.
I could tell you what the 1 through 5 is going to be on the GOAT calculator.
Kareem's probably in there.
It's going to be Kareem, MJ, Bron, Kobe.
Yeah, Magic.
And Magic, because those are the only players that are missing from this list.
No, yeah, it's probably Magic. Yeah. Or Wilt. Magic don't need to be top 10.
Wilt already got. You already announced Wilt, right?
Yeah, Wilt's at 11. Yeah.
Wilt's at 11. Oh, it's Magic then. Yeah. There we go. We got the top 5. There we go. We got it. Ron, you nasty, bro.
Spoiler alert.
Ron, you so nasty.
I just don't know who's 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Just so nasty, bro. Nasty guy. You ever thought about that? I'm a nasty. You ever said that to yourself in the mirror? I'm a nasty guy.
I mean, all the time.
There we go.
Hey, I get told I'm a nasty guy at least 5 times a week.
But Ron, who's your top 10? I haven't heard your top 10 great players of all time.
Oh my God, I hate his top 10.
Because look, when I go to mention my top 10, you guys never let me get past number 1.
You got Kareem.
I want to hear this. This is news to me.
All right, hold on. Let me pull it up right now.
Jesus.
I just said my top 10 on low nose. That was fire.
Ron has Russell Westbrook number 10.
That's not ridiculous to say.
Yes, it is.
I can argue Russ being top 10.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Are you saying that because
I can push a crazy stat narrative and make a compelling argument that Russ.
It's not compelling.
What he did, I can make that.
It's not compelling.
I don't think so. I don't think you could make that narrative.
Is Russ top 5 point guard?
I think you could produce a narrative that he's better than Oscar Robertson.
Top 5 point guard. No.
Yeah. No.
Top 10, top 12, I guess, but not top 5.
Top 12 point guard Russell Westbrook. So where? Oh, now y'all about to turn.
No, he's not. He's top 10 for sure. He's
Bro, Ron, when you actually start naming 5 players, you would realize Russell Westbrook doesn't fit in there.
Ron, let's do this.
Why doesn't he fit in there?
Magic Johnson.
Bro, start naming them.
I got you. Magic, Steph, IT. 3 better. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Oscar Robertson or Russ?
Russ.
No, I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
Oscar, you just went to a way.
I
don't know how you got to Oscar Robertson already.
Okay. Jason Kidd.
Thank you.
Russ.
I can argue Russ over J. Kidd easily.
Well, I got a question.
Steve Nash or Russ?
Russ. Give me. Look.
I'll
take Russ over Steve Nash any day of the week.
John Stockton or Russ?
Now that's what I got to come to my senses.
No, Low will fry Ron's ass if you.
Russ is better. I'm not gonna lie, Russ is better, but.
Well, I'm taking John Stockton.
Oh my God! All right, well, that's 4 for you. Who else? Gary Payton.
Oh, that's tough.
That one's tough, Ron.
Are
you kidding me?
Ron, you better pick CP3 over Russ.
No,
he's not doing
way.
it. He's not doing it. He's not doing it. I didn't even want to ask him that. I didn't want to ask him that.
No, Russ has been better than CP3 since the finals.
Smokes crack on the week.
Since he's been to the finals? Come on, Ron. Don't cap.
Chris Paul is one of the most overrated basketball players that you guys have came up here and talked about. Yes, he's a great basketball player. I'll give it to you. He's a phenomenal point guard.
Oh
he's an amazing. He's an amazing field general.
But I'm not doing
this. I'm trying to tell you guys, the pedestal you put CP3 on, he doesn't deserve that.
Who's a better defender?
At a Russ and CP3?
Yes.
CP.
On ball defender, I'll give it to CP3, but just doing everything else.
Off ball two. No. It's off ball and on ball. Stop.
Wait, Ron, I thought you cared about winning, though.
Ron,
winning. And Russ has won just as much as Chris Paul.
Did CP3 ever have a guy like Kevin Durant on his team?
He has him right now. So yes.
Sorry. They didn't even play a game. But let's be real. We talk about their whole career. He hasn't even had them. He's never had them in his whole career.
Chris Paul has had some good teams,
but he's never had KD.
Okay.
KD and James Harden at the same time.
Okay, a baby
and Serge
James
Ibaka.
Harden,
And
okay,
Serge
and they were
Ibaka.
all babies themselves, but okay.
Hey, so Chris Paul's a better defender. Off ball and on ball, he's a better defender.
Who's more efficient?
Chris Paul's definitely more efficient.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Who's the better passer?
Russell Westbrook.
Oh.
What?
Russell Westbrook. Who averages more assists?
Oh my
Okay,
God.
That's not the bet. See now, this is why I say talk about Mars being the stat guy, but now you're doing the stat guy.
Don't they like Stockton for total?
Are you asking me who looks better passing or who passes better? I think Russell Westbrook looks better passing, and I think he's a better passer. Here's what you guys do with Russell Westbrook. No, here's what you guys do with Russell Westbrook. You see that he'll throw the ball away, or you'll see that he'll throw an erratic pass, or you'll see that he'll just shoot an erratic shot, and you guys say he's a bad point guard. That's false. That's
Ron.
Chris Paul turns the ball over too. Chris Paul shoots bad shots.
Not to the level of
Chris
Russ.
Paul makes bad plays. But you guys don't hold him to that accountability.
Ron, I need you to walk back he has more assists, therefore he's a better passer, and then you need to justify it in a different way, because you can't say that because he averages more assists. Stop. Do not interrupt me, Doug.
Oh, all right, go ahead. Because I'm about to tell
that
you
was
It's
crazy.
going to kill Ron. It's going to kill Ron, though. But go ahead.
In the NBA, you get 2 dribbles after a pass, and that counts as the assist to the guy who passed that person the rock. So I could just give you the ball on the wing, Ron, and you could blow by with 2 dribbles, and that's an assist. Am I a great passer because I did that?
JD.
Ron, you can't answer
They
this.
played in the same era.
What question am I not answering, PSP?
I don't understand why you got Russ over CP3. I mean, this ain't even. I respect Russ, but as far as point guard is concerned, this is not even a conversation. Go ahead, Doug.
My bad. Because we're talking about numbers, right, Mr. Numbers guy, Ron? Right? We're talking about numbers.
You guys asked me.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, we're talking about numbers, Doug. We're talking about numbers.
Would it help? What do you have to say then to know that Chris Paul averages more assists in his whole entire career than Russell Westbrook?
Well, first off, you gotta factor in that Chris Paul has more seasons where he was the guy at point guard. Right, it took Russ a couple years.
Do you also?
Are we talking about in their prime? Are we talking about like top?
Okay. Cool. The most that Russ has ever averaged assist-wise is 11.6 in 2021 on the Washington Wizards. CP3 did that in 2008 with 11.6.
Okay.
Then he never had another year where he averaged 11 assists. CP3 did it again the next season.
Okay.
Then he did. So the highest, Chris Paul has more assists, has just as much assists than Russell Westbrook. He has more than him in his career. At their best, he has just as much, if not more than him, and more years than Russell Westbrook. So if you're talking about who has more assists, CP3 has more assists than Russell Westbrook.
And he also has more seasons than Russell Westbrook. So
no. We're just keeping it. Well, I'm keeping the sample size small for you. Even when we minimize the sample size. He's averaging more assists in more years. He averages more assists. In 2008 is 11.6. In 2021 it was 11.7. It's the same. Other than that, Russ never had a season where he averaged 11 assists apart from that year in 2021.
Chris Paul got 2 seasons where he averaged 11. Okay.
He has 2. Yes.
Yeah, so Chris Paul averaging 11 assists twice and Russ doing it once, that makes him a better point guard.
But your whole point was, see, now you're switching it up. Your whole point was, and it harped on, who averages more assists. Well, it's CP3. So now you're going to run to a different point where now it's like, okay, then that automatically makes him better. It obviously made him better for you for Russell Westbrook. Then now that you're seeing that is not your argument, now you want to switch off.
What do you mean? What do I want to switch off? Chris Paul's played more seasons. They've averaged, and he has 1 more season averaging double-digit assists than Russ.
Even at their best assist seasons, CP3 is either outproducing him or on par with him.
How's he outproducing him?
He has 2 11 assist seasons.
Okay.
Russ only has 1.
So when you
do we
put
care about the turnovers too?
And do you even care? And you love the turnovers too.
Time out. Because I can do this too. You're saying Chris Paul, excuse me.
Hey, talk about me being afraid of debate. Here you go getting cooked.
You're saying Chris? What are you talking? The debate's still going on, and you're talking about your cooking.
Cooked.
You're saying Chris Paul has 2 back-to-back 11 assist seasons. So what if I told you that in that span, Russ had 5 seasons where he averaged double-digit assists? What if I was to tell you that
in that span of 5 years? That's not
or 4. He had 4 straight seasons where he averaged double-digit assists.
Oh, Russ,
don't get off these numbers.
No, he only did it. Oh, 4, yeah. 4,
okay. So then, so I can use that as an argument to say he's a better passer, but I'm not going to do that.
That wasn't your argument in the beginning, though. Your argument harped on heavily. Your argument harped on heavily the assist numbers of Russell Westbrook. And and I tell you that the assist numbers of Russell Westbrook is either CP3 outproduces him or they're on par with each other. So if they're on par with each other, it doesn't make sense to say just because Russ averages more assists that he's automatically better than him. I talk about and the turnovers. I don't even want to get into turnover backs for you because it's not a good site for you at all. It's not. So you gotta pick a different argument for Russ being better than CP3. That's all I'm trying to say to you, Ron. The argument of assist numbers, it does not work.
Russell Westbrook averages 4.1 turnovers throughout his career. Chris Paul's 2.4.
Okay, and that's something we all know. Russ is a turnover machine. That's a fact. We all know Chris.
But why do you say Russ is better than CP3? Like better in terms of athleticism, better like what exactly?
Okay. So Chris Paul got defense, even though it's not as wide of a margin as you guys would say. Passing, I'll give Chris Paul the nod on passing too, due to efficiency. But you guys heavily underrate Russ's ability to play make.
No. I believe that. I believe a lot of people do underrate him for playmaking. 100%.
Here's also what I'm gonna say too, though. I think Russ's ability to make his teammates better is better than Chris Paul.
Oh my God!
Everybody that Russ has played with. Russ played with KD during his MVP season. When did KD get another MVP?
Oh my! This is elite context, Ben. Keep going, Ron.
Listen what I'm saying.
This is some Laffy Taffy bending.
When Paul George played with him, top 3 MVP candidates. Never has done that again. And Paul George, those words came out of Paul George's mouth.
Keep going, Ron.
So funny?
Keep going, Ron.
James Harden won an MVP with Chris Paul.
Wait, Dub. Can I finish my point? I'm going to listen.
Didn't Blake Griffin almost win an MVP with Chris Paul?
What you guys feel?
In
Paul
2014, he was a top 3 candidate for MVP that year.
You said what?
Blake Griffin during 2013-2014, wasn't he a top 3 candidate for MVP?
I don't remember.
I don't second or third or something.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was like second or third.
I've never remembered Blake Griffin being remotely close to an MVP candidate. But if you want to say that, for sure. But like I said, Paul George, the words came out of his mouth a couple days ago where he said, I had my best season with Russell Westbrook, so I would love Russell Westbrook to play for the Clippers. Paul George. And then I'm going to go to guys like Steven Adams. Without Russell Westbrook, we wouldn't even know who Steven Adams is. We wouldn't. Say what you want.
What about DeAndre Jordan?
You said what?
I was about to say DeAndre Jordan.
What about DeAndre Jordan? You don't think
Russell Westbrook would have did the same thing with DeAndre
has
Jordan?
Anything to do with DeAndre Jordan?
No, absolutely. Look, Chris Paul. I would say Chris Paul made DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin. I will absolutely say that.
Oh, wait. Let's not stop there. Let's not stop there because we're talking about guys. David West. Didn't he help David West? Didn't he help David? Didn't he help David West?
No,
David
I mean
West?
He for sure helped them. Obviously,
okay,
helped
cool.
Another great player.
Because you wouldn't say that.
David West.
You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that Russ made KD or Paul George, but he did help them, correct?
He helped them. He for sure.
Okay, cool. David West. I think David West. He helped David West as well. He helped Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin as well. DeAndre Jordan as well. Steven Adams too in the year where he went there. Steven Adams too, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I know LeBron loves Booker, but Booker had his best year with Chris Paul. He was top.
I'm not going to go that. No,
DeAndre Ayton.
No,
Devin, what are we doing?
We're going to leave Devin Booker. Devin Booker was him before Chris Paul went over there. If anything, Devin Booker helped Chris Paul.
Oh my God!
I'm saying Devin Booker never got that high before.
Devin Booker led Chris Paul to his first finals. Without Devin Booker, what would Chris Paul be without Devin Booker? We can do that.
What?
But hey, you guys don't want to have these conversations. You guys don't want to have.
I do not.
And what would Russ be without KD?
I would like to go back to your top 10
list. What would Russ be without KD? What would Russ be without KD?
What would KD be without Russ?
Because you credit him on winning and we'll go to the finals. KD wouldn't have made to the finals.
What would KD be without Steph?
Oh my God. Ron, you don't understand. The arguments that you're making are just bad arguments. And now, instead of just acknowledging they're bad arguments, you're trying to apply that to everybody. Like, come on, Ron.
It was a bad argument, me saying that I believe that Russell Westbrook makes his teammates better or just as good as Chris Paul does.
No. But
that was a bad argument
because you're acting as if
examples of what I'm talking about.
Because you're acting as if CP3 don't have those same examples.
I'm not saying that Chris Paul doesn't. I never discredited Chris Paul. I just said I believe that from the samples that I've seen Chris Paul take guys and Russell Westbrook take guys and put them in the MVP contention.
And so has CP3. CP3 though.
Who?
James Harden won an MVP in 2018. What are we doing?
And had CP3 was healthy in that Western Conference Finals, Houston would probably advance to the finals.
He is the greatest team of all time. Everyone thinks he's the greatest team of all time. They took him 7 games with Steph, KD, and Clay, and Dre fully healthy.
So can we move on to the next
point?
Is
Russ ever going to replicate anything like that?
I'd like to move on to your list.
Wait, because there's a reason. No, Ron. There's a reason why when CP3 got there, and they oh my God, I forgot about this. They traded for Russell Westbrook, and what happened? They had to get rid of fucking Clint Capella because he could have spaced the fucking floor. They didn't have to do that with CP3.
They didn't have to do that with Russell Westbrook. That was a stupid move.
Oh, that was stupid. Yes, they did because Russ became a better player as soon as that trade happened. He was becoming more efficient and was going crazy after that trade happened.
That was dumb. They didn't have to do that, and then but that's why they were that. Hey, that's why after that the Rockets went downhill because they were starting PJ Tucker at center.
No, they got better. They got better throughout the season.
Okay, they got better. All
that's
right.
what happened.
And what happened? And what happened when the playoffs came around?
100%. But that happened.
But do you know why that happened when the playoffs came around?
Because they were too small.
It's okay in the regular season to try to outshoot everybody. But what happens when you have to play real basketball in the playoffs?
Which is fine. But Ron, and that's Ron. And what you're saying is not false. 100%. But they had to make that adjustment because throughout the regular season, they were struggling because Russ could not have Clint Capella there because of the spacing issue. So that means in the playoffs, with Clint Capella being there, their offense would have been that much worse because there's no spacing.
So here's the point that I'm trying to make. Are you trying to build your team for regular season success or playoff success?
Oh my God, Ron, what are you including? Because we've been asking you. You can pick 1 point, get fried.
What do you mean? What am I
pick another point,
every
get
time
fried,
you ask me a question, I answer your question.
And then you get fried, and then you choose a different point.
Stop asking me a bunch of questions, and I'll stop answering them. Is that what you're going to
do? Please stop answering them. We want to go back to this list.
Can I go to my next point on why I believe that Russell Westbrook is better? Because I'm starting at my bottom point.
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, please.
When it comes to passing and playmaking, they're on tier with each other.
No,
they're in the same tier.
No.
Chris Paul is better though, right?
If you want to say that.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So you guys gave him the nod on defense. You guys gave him the nod on playmaking. But when it comes to scoring, Russell Westbrook's light years better. Light years better. You can bring in the efficiency. You can say what you want to. He's never led the league in scoring.
He's a better scorer. You can find with that.
Okay then.
I'm not arguing that.
When you do that, you have scoring. And then you have just the dynamic ability of his athleticism and just the force that he is on the court. That's a whole nother thing that Chris Paul doesn't bring into the equation.
Who has better basketball IQ between CP and Russ?
Oh,
better basketball IQ? I mean, I can say or CP.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. CP3 is a better player than Russ, mainly because of 1, he's a better defender. 2, I think he's a better playmaker and passer. Well, maybe not playmaker because that's a different definition, but like pure point guard passer, CP3. Both of them have shown great levels of floor raising. Both of them have shown great levels of making the situations and the players around them better. So they both are good at doing that. I'm not going to take that away from Russell Westbrook, but the main difference between Russ and CP3 is portability. So Russell Westbrook, yes, he's a better portability.
What's portability?
I'm about to explain it to you. So yes, Russell Westbrook, he could be a better scorer than CP3. I wouldn't even argue against that. But in terms of finding fits for Russ, finding fits for him to be around, it's a headache. It's a headache for him, and it's been a headache for his whole entire career. CP3 is the guy where you could plug and play him in a lot more situations than Russell Westbrook, he'll be able to excel in. There's a reason why the Rockets were able to keep Clint Capella with CP3 and not Russell Westbrook, because CP3 is more portable. He's a guy who could play alongside anybody without jeopardizing the team, because he's a good shooter. He's a good three-point shooter. He's a great mid-range shooter. He's a smart basketball player. He's a great passer. He knows how to make that fit work.
Facts, Dub.
But that doesn't make him a better player.
I just said everything else. It was all of this and then that.
Ron, despite everything else that Dub said, that's still not enough to say CP3's better.
No. If I'm starting a team right now today, in the first two players that I have is Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook, I'm taking Russell Westbrook to start my franchise any day over Chris Paul. I think we have so much more of a ceiling with Russell Westbrook than with Chris Paul. I really do believe that, and here's reasons, and here's also reasons why I'm
no more reasons
why I don't believe in Chris Paul. Eddie, what do you want to move on to so bad?
I want to hear your list.
Because this was the top 5 point guard list.
My list got a ticket.
If we end up talking about Chris Paul versus Russell Westbrook for an hour, I'm leaving.
Ron probably has Russ over Jerry West.
That's not crazy to say. I don't think that's crazy to say either.
I wouldn't be mad about that.
We're talking about a dude who's done things that nobody will ever do.
I'm down for the top 5 talk.
Ever do. Now look, time out. As a point guard, as somebody who's gonna stabilize your team, I'll give it to Chris Paul. If we're talking about plug and play and you can come in and orchestrate my offense and get us set up and make sure that we're running a good system. Yes, you could say Chris Paul, but a better player in terms of being able to do everything. I can say rebounding, but you guys are gonna laugh. Rebounding. What point guard do you know that has averaged 10 rebounds for multiple seasons?
Jason Kidd.
Along with 10 assists for multiple seasons.
Luka Doncic.
Along with going in the playoffs and doing that same thing, which is where I'm gonna get to Chris Paul. It seems like every time he gets to that point where Chris Paul, it's like we need you to be the Chris Paul that you say that you are, that everybody claims that you are. He folds, whether it's injury, whether it's not playing right, whether it's the team just shitting themselves. Chris Paul doesn't show up in the biggest moment. Now go ahead, Dub. I know what you're going to do. You're going to run into some moments where Russ has had bad playoff games. Okay,
but Chris Paul has gotten farther as the number 1 option, and Russ, we've seen 3 consecutive seasons as the number 1 option in Oklahoma City since KD's departure. He's been bounced out in the first round.
Okay, and check this out. We've never seen Russ with a Blake Griffin. Chris Paul had multiple All-Stars on those teams.
He had Paul George and Melo.
I said multiple. That team still wasn't good, Dub. Melo was.
Wait a minute. They had a chance to beat the Utah Jazz the first year.
Yeah, I was going to say they weren't supposed to beat the Jazz.
That was a bad series for everybody. Chris Paul has had some first round letdowns too.
Okay,
No, I'm not arguing that Chris Paul has had some disappointments in the playoffs. I'm not.
A lot. Full stat sheet.
Ron. What he said was Russ as the number 1 had Paul George with him and Melo. And 1 year, he only had Melo 1 year, but then he had Paul George in 2019 as well. Yeah. And both of those times, Utah Jazz, it was embarrassing for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I don't penalize Russ. I don't penalize Russ too much for that because PG, I give a shoulder blame for him for that.
That was playoff P. Remember that was playoff
Yeah. But then the Portland Trailblazers, they got set in 5, bro. With Russ, and he played bad. I love Russ. Yeah, he played really bad.
That's a fact.
As a number 1 option with Paul George, man.
Russ is
also Chris Paul losing the playoffs is not always him getting hurt. Like Blake Griffin and stuff, his teammates would get hurt too in the playoffs.
And this man, Chris Paul, took the Houston Rockets with Russ and James. My bad. Chris Paul with Russ and James Harden. Didn't he take them to 7 games? With Steven Adams and Shea, who wasn't even Shea yet?
Right.
And
they had a little more over there. But that was impressive out of Chris Paul. That was for sure impressive.
So what are they doing?
But hold on, no. But here's my thing too. If Chris Paul would have stayed on that team with OKC for 3 years, and it could have been earlier in his career, so he got, let's say he's a little younger, he's a little better. He's not doing much more than Russ did. He's not doing anything more than Russ did. He's not getting out of the first round. But we're not going to say that. Chris Paul has never had a team where it's just been inadequate like those years that Russ had.
I'm not going to hold you. They win in 2013 with Chris Paul.
What do you mean?
They beat LeBron and Dwayne Wade.
No, they don't.
With Chris Paul and Kevin Durant, they beat him.
No, they don't.
They do. He was a better defender. I think he was a more efficient scorer at
No,
that
just
time.
because he was a better defender. What are you saying?
I'm about to.
What are you?
It was more than just that. It was more than just that. It was more than just that. Can I finish?
Go ahead.
All right, he was a better defender, and even then, if we're doing this like, what was this Russell Westbrook's? It was Russ's third year,
fourth year.
I think in 2009 wasn't Chris Paul an MVP candidate?
Chris Paul's probably been an MVP candidate a couple years.
In his fourth year, right?
He doesn't have the hardware. He doesn't have the hardware like some guys have.
Silverware.
Silverware, yeah. So in 2009, right? This is 2009 Chris Paul, who was a better defender than Russell Westbrook. I think he was a better scorer in his fourth year than Russell Westbrook as well. A better passer than Russell Westbrook as well. He was arguably a top 5 player in 2009 as well. So that's his fourth year. So if you're going to sit here and expect me not to think that a guy that caliber paired up next to Kevin Durant is not going to beat LeBron James and Dwayne Wade? Come on, bro.
Do you know what Russ averaged in those playoffs?
In the playoffs?
Which playoffs?
That year, the year they made the championship.
I don't remember. I'm not going to lie.
He averaged 24, 7, and 7.
Okay.
So I mean, what you're trying to say is that, are you saying that Russ was playing bad, or are you just saying Chris Paul would have eclipsed his impact of 24, 7, and 7?
Yes, he would have eclipsed
Chris
that.
Paul
Yes,
would have been better in those circumstances.
because in that 20, I'm checking it right now. In that 24, 7, and 7, he was 41 and then 22 from the 41 from field goal and then 22 from the 3-point line. I don't see CP3 doing.
And that was also the finals in which Magic Johnson said that was one of the worst point guard performances he ever saw by a point guard. So imagine if you put CP3 with KD in that team. I think they would have had a better chance. I still believe Miami would have won the series, but they would have had a better chance with CP3.
Oh, my bad. We got the years mixed up. It's 2012. My bad. I got the years mixed up. 2012, Russ had 23 on 45 from 31. That's what he had. I still think that CP3 will be able to eclipse that with better defense. Only averaged 5 assists. He will be a better assist man as well. I just think he would just overall impact the game to a higher level than Russell Westbrook would. At that time, in the first 4 years of CP3, first 4 years of Russ, he was just a better player.
In the first 4 years, I could say that. And then after that, Russ cleared CP3. And that's why today, who has the better career? Who has the better career?
Ron.
No. Answer my question.
You pick one argument. You can't prove it wrong on one argument. Now you're picking a different one.
How did you prove me wrong?
Because you said that if CP3 is in Russ's position, I see him doing the same exact thing. And I said no. I think him paired up next to Kevin Durant, especially in his fourth year, is probably going to win a championship together.
In his fourth year, no. I don't. In Chris Paul's fourth year, no.
Yes, he was top 5 guy with great defense.
Player in his fourth year than Russell Westbrook.
Yes, he was. What are you doing?
I don't believe so.
Oh my God!
Ron, are you saying you're picking Russ in terms of better career over CP3 because of the triple doubles, the athleticism, the MVP, all that other stuff you take?
Russ has put together a more storied career than Chris Paul. He's done everything that Chris Paul's done and more. Now, career-wise, Russell Westbrook has put together a better career. Now, when you get to talking to me about as a player, I think Chris Paul's a more dynamic player than Chris Paul. He can do everything Chris Paul can do and more. Yes, Chris Paul may be a slightly better passer. He might be a slightly better defender, but Russ is a problem on the defensive end. He's a maniac on the defensive end when he wants to play. Offensively, playmaking, he does all of that and gives you all of that. And then he gives you the scoring and the explosiveness that Chris Paul just can't do. Now, okay, Chris Paul spaces the floor a little better. He shoots better. His mid-range is a little more steady. I'll give him that. But Russ is harder to contain and control on the offensive end than Chris Paul is. It's harder to game plan around Russell Westbrook than it is around Chris Paul.
We need to have
Ron, just because I don't want to spend the whole time about Russ, and it seems as if you're just not going to just stop talking about this, I will agree to disagree, bro. I would just agree to disagree.
But let's move on to the list, Ron. Your point guards as far as list.
Russ is in my top 5.
Okay, and the rest of your top 10. Okay, you said you had Magic 1.
No. I got Kareem 1. Hold on. Let me find this.
Wait, you have Kareem as the greatest player of all time. Okay.
Wait till the GOAT calculator comes out. You guys will see. Hold on. Let me find this list.
Ron, this was so bad.
What was that? Yo,
No,
you
No,
guys,
no,
okay,
no,
I'm
no,
sorry. I'm
no.
sorry. I'm 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 sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to continue to talk. JD's gonna have a stroke. Are you okay, Jay?
I'm good.
You good?
All right. Well, I was looking for that. Listen, hit these super chats. Brandon Thompson, what about best handle contest? Bro, people just spazzing on the court.
A bust? Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Slime Jenkins, without CP3, D Book is Bradley Beal / SGA.
That's false. That is false. You guys first off, I'm gonna just get this out the way. Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the NBA today. With or without Chris Paul, he's the best
Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's a better.
I'm taking Devin Booker. Now, with that being said, bro, I'm not gonna debate you on that. Like I get the D Book, but bro, I get the D Mitch, but I got D Book.
Do you consider playoffs, what these guys do in the playoffs in your ranking towards these guys?
You talking about me or Go Calculator?
You, Ron.
When I say best players, I'm talking about just your game. But yes, those do get factored in. But I'm talking about your game though, for the most part.
His game and then how it translates in the playoffs, right?
Not necessarily, no. But yes, yeah. I mean, you do need to be
why
able
do you
to
have
perform in
Kareem?
the playoffs. You do need to be able to perform in the playoffs. But when I'm like ranking my top 5 players in the NBA, it's not heavily predicated on the playoffs.
I think you should do that, and the reason why Donovan Mitchell should be above Devin Booker as well. For some reason, all of the blame for what happened in the losses against the Dallas Mavericks and then the Milwaukee Bucks all get put on Chris Paul, but people don't talk about enough that Devin Booker did have a lot of ducks in those series as well. He did not perform to a high level, and Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he's ever had a postseason series like that where he was really just getting locked up. Like he was getting locked up in 2021 and 2022 by Dallas Mavericks and Drew Holiday. So just for that reason alone, their games is very similar to each other, but Donovan Mitchell didn't have a playoff letdown like that. So I'm gonna have Donovan Mitchell over him every single time.
And so we'll see this year when Donovan Mitchell plays against Drew Holiday in the playoffs, we'll see how he fares.
I mean, having KD there leaves so much pressure off of him. So I mean,
no, I'm talking about Donovan Mitchell. If Cleveland plays the Bucks, we'll see how he fares.
Okay.
Said, bro, you guys are still act like D Book wasn't the best player on a team that went to the finals.
He wasn't. It was Chris Paul.
No, it was easily Devin Booker.
It was Chris Paul.
It was easily Devin Booker.
It was easily
no doubt
Chris
about
Paul.
It. But see, that's what I'm saying. You guys that give Chris Paul credit for things he wasn't. Yes, he was. Chris Paul doesn't get Devin Booker off. He doesn't.
What?
I feel like we're never going to end this conversation about seeing.
No. I agree with you, Ron. No, I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. So So with D Book doing the things that he was doing and putting up the numbers he was doing, Chris Paul didn't help him do that.
Do you know what Chris Paul was doing that? Do you know what Chris Paul was doing though?
Chris Paul had a good run.
Chris Paul, apart from the Lakers series where Devin Booker just severely outperformed, maybe because Chris Paul was hurt. Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Devin Booker was a better scorer, 100%. Me and Mars had a conversation about this. He was a better scorer, but then Chris Paul was also playing at a high level as well, scoring the ball, and playmaking for the ball. He was a great secondary scorer, playmaker for the team. Was not that bad of a defender as well in the Denver Nuggets series and the Clippers series as well. CP3 was amazing as a secondary scorer. Was a great playmaker as well for that team. And then the Milwaukee Bucks in 2021. I mean, Chris Paul just had an overall better series than Devin Booker. Devin Booker was really
in the finals.
Yes, he was
in the finals.
Yes,
when he averaged 28, 5 and 4. See,
Devin Booker. That those back-to-back 40-point games for Devin Booker carries heavily for what he did because in Game 6, Devin Booker played terrible. He played terrible. In Game 3, Devin Booker played terrible. Even in Game 1, the game that they won because CP3 was playing at a high of a level, they won. I mean, Devin Booker played bad. Like, Devin Booker was just not that good in the finals, bro. He just wasn't. This 40-point back-to-back games severely carries, bro.
I guess we can say a dude averaging 28 in the finals was a bad final series, but you see, chat, you see how we just nitpick over
No. That's not what I said.
Every little thing. But I don't know. I guess
that's not what I said.
Look, if Donovan Mitchell would have did it, all of a sudden it would have been a great finals appearance. But
Ron, let me ask you this: if a guy is performing at a high level for 5 out of, because CP3 had a bad game 4, for 5 out of the 6 games in a postseason where he was playing at an amazing level, like not just regular level, like a great level. It's scoring as a secondary scorer, as the main facilitator of the team. He played amazing in that. Compared to a guy where in 3 out of the 6 games, he was trash.
Right.
He wasn't good. He was bad. Which one do you think is more valuable to that team? The guy who did it for 5 games or the guy who was trash for 3 games, but then amazing in 2 games?
And if you look at Chris Paul's numbers, he averaged around 21 and 8 on 55% shooting from the field and 52.2% from the 3. The only bad game that
Chris Paul was going to win in front of
Milwaukee at Dub mentioned Game 4. He had 10 points on 38.5% shooting.
Listen, I'm not gonna, Dub, you ran and said that, you see here, you go spewing stuff, talking about he had bad games. In game 1, field goal percentage wasn't all that great. I will give you that. But dude still had 27 and 6 assists. Game 2, he had 31.
What did CP3 do? What did CP3 do?
No, I'm talking about Devin Booker right now. You could talk about,
because we're comparing him to CP3. But we're comparing him to CP3. Yes or no?
Chris Paul did, and I'll bring up what Devin Booker
did. Okay, cool. Game 1, 32 and 9.
First, 32 and 9. Because you said he had a bad series, and you said he had bad games. Against the best defense in the NBA, in the NBA Finals, Game 1 he had 27 and 6 assists. Game 2 he had 31, 6 and 5. So, bro, and he made 7 threes Game 2. So you saying that he had a bad game is just a lie. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying on national television.
Rod. Which game are you talking about? Which game are you talking about? Game 1?
Game 2. Game 1.
I did not say Game 2. I said Game 3, Game 6, and Game 1.
He had what? Bad games? Those games?
He had terrible games. Not bad games. Terrible.
I'll go look him up.
20. I looked him up. He had 27 and 6 in the first game. Yes, and he shot 8 of 21. So if you're saying
comparing him to Chris Paul,
if you're saying him shooting 8 of 21 is a bad game, okay, I get what you're saying. But keep in mind he's playing against Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
The dude had fucking 10 points in Game 3. He had 10.
Okay.
The best scorer of the team had 10. Then in Game 6, he had 19.
On 36.4% shooting from the field.
Okay. And he didn't even make a fucking 3, Ron. What did CP3 do? What did CP3 do?
What did he do?
26 and 5 and was getting buckets on everybody.
On everybody. Oh, okay. All right, for sure. Well, look. Chris Paul had a couple good games.
In Game 1, no.
Chris Paul had a better game. Devin Booker had a better
game. Game 1, Devin Booker. Yes, he had 27, right? Because he went to the free throw line and lie. Yes, he had 27 on 38. Chris Paul, because we're comparing him to Chris Paul. We're not comparing him to himself. We're comparing him to Chris Paul. Chris Paul went 32 and fucking 9, Ron.
He had a good
on
game.
63.2%.
So in 2 games in the series, Chris Paul outplayed him.
In 3.
What was the third game?
3.
What was the third game?
Game 3.
Devin Booker was horrible Game 3.
Devin Booker was terrible. 3. And then even in
game 5. Numbers for you, Game 3 for Devin.
No, I don't need the numbers. I don't need the numbers. All
right.
And even in game, even in game 5, what's it called? Game 5 when Devin Booker had 40. Because Game 4, CP3 was bad. I can't dispute that.
Yeah. Let's talk.
Game 4,
I wasn't even gonna bring it up. I was gonna wait. Hey,
I acknowledge it. CP3 was bad in 1 game, but this goes from the question I asked you before. I think that the guy's a better player where in the regular season they're on par with each other. But for this postseason as well, Chris Paul was just better, more games than Devin Booker was.
No, he was.
In Game 5, CP3 had 21 and 11 on good shooting splits. Devin Booker had 40. That's both of them just doing their part. If Devin Booker did that more, they probably would have won the series.
What do you mean if he did that more? How many 40-point games do you want him to have?
No. It's not about 40. But
what are you talking? You just said he did that more. Yo, he gave you
my bad. I chose the wrong word.
He gave you 2 40-point games, a 32-point game, and a 27-point game in the NBA Finals.
I chose the wrong word. In Game 3 and Game 6, if Devin Booker would have performed at the level that we think that he's capable of, because he didn't even play the level we thought he was capable of. He played trash. He was trash. It was 1 game, Ron.
CP3 had some trash games too.
It was 1.
Did more as well.
It was 1 game, Ron. If Devin Booker actually played to himself, The Phoenix series could have been vastly different.
What do you mean
but
if he
Devin
played
Booker
to
went to
himself?
bed.
So
Devin
what's he
Booker
playing
went
to himself? What should he have averaged, Dub? What should Devin Booker have done that series?
I expect him not to get held to 10 fucking points, Ron.
And I expect Chris Paul not to get held to 10 points too.
That happened one game.
And it happened one game.
And then he had 19 and was getting locked up.
All right.
From bad 19 on bad shooting splits is not Devin Booker. Is it? Is it? It's 19 on 36.
So what did Chris Paul average? And what did Devin Booker average? And let's just leave it at this. And we'll see who is more their regular self.
Chris Paul. Okay, cool.
And we'll see who is more their regular self.
Okay, cool. Chris Paul. Let me pull it up right now.
Whip it up.
Chris Paul in that series. 21 points on 55 from the field and 52 from 3 with 8 assists. Devin Booker, 28 points, 45 from the field, 26 from 3 with 4 assists. Off of that alone, since you just asked me, because you asked me this, look, we'll just leave it at that. Chris Paul had the better postseason series, and he was the better player.
Devin Booker carried the team, and he carried them throughout the playoffs.
Shout out.
I'm gonna agree or disagree.
Well, here's also the thing too. You got to understand, like Devin Booker's the focal point of that defense. So when they step on the court, they're game planning to shut Devin Booker down. For him to be able to play through double teams, be able to play through all league defenders, Drew Holiday, a defensive player of the year candidate every year, Chris Middleton, one of the best two-way defenders, Giannis Antetokounmpo as well, rim protecting, Brook Lopez down there, rim protecting, who is about to get the defensive player of the year this year.
Devin Booker was literally getting locked up by one fucking man.
What do you mean? So he wasn't getting double teamed.
He had to be standing in the fucking corner because he couldn't do anything on him.
That's the same situation for
and then it happened
KD
again.
And
it happened again the next season because he got locked up by fucking Reggie Bullock and them boys.
So if we go back, we won't see Devin Booker getting double teamed after being guarded by Drew Holiday.
He was standing at the corner because he literally couldn't do anything because of fucking Drew Holiday.
But why was that?
You got to swear every 2 seconds.
My bad.
Buddy in the chat's getting upset.
Are we ready to move on, or?
I've been ready. Shout out to Najee Simons for becoming an all-star.
1B.
I agree with that. Donovan Mitchell's just a B.
Biatch. Najee Simons. Ron is a box score merchant who doesn't care about finer details of the sport or context. Just chatting. Dub killer.
Check this out. Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm not gonna hurt you. Appreciate the super chat, Najee.
Box score merchant. It is about time for our Lucra wager of the week. Shout out to Lucra, man, the sponsor of today's show. If you do not know, Lucra is a social gaming platform where you can compete against your friends for real money. Make sure when you sign up, use the link pinned in the top of the chat if you're here live. It is in the details of the description of the show down below if you want to go check that out after the fact. And use code Players Choice when you sign up. I believe you get $5 to use when you use code Players Choice. And if you're a brand new member, I think you get 10 free dollars or something. So you might be able to get $15 if you sign up and use code Players Choice. Our Lucra wager of the week is actually, let's go back to last week. Apologies if you participated in last week's because Giannis got hurt, left the game early. I don't even think he played 2 minutes. DeMar DeRozan didn't even play. So that didn't happen. But this Thursday, on the 23rd, we have Grizzlies Sixers. So I want to do Ja Morant versus the potential MVP, a top MVP candidate so far this year, Joel Embiid. Who do you guys have in this? Dub, we'll start with you.
Points? We doing points?
We're doing points.
Let me get... I'll pick Joel. Joel is crazy.
Ron?
You said Joel versus who?
Ja
Morant. I'm going with Ja as well. Mr. Goat calculator?
I'll take Joel.
PSP.
Damn. Yeah. I'll probably give it to Joel, assuming if he's healthy. I'll give it to Joel.
I want to see Ja Morant punch one on Joel Embiid in this game.
Punch one?
I want to see him punch on Joel Embiid.
That's great.
Dunk over Embiid?
Yes.
It's hard, Ron, what I have to do to you.
All right. Again, make sure if you want to participate in this, you could send us the contest. You could tell your friends to sign up and send them the contest on Lucra. Use code Players Choice. And go take some money from your friends.
That's funny as hell. What's the next topic, Jay?
I was going to talk about this Kevin Durant quote about on trade requests because I thought it was funny, and of course he says this. Kevin Durant on trade requests in the NBA. When a player can kind of dictate where he wants to go and leave in free agency or demand a trade, it's just a part of the game now. So I don't think it's a bad thing. It's bringing more and more excitement to the game.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool. What do you want to talk about it, bro? Like, like.
Yo, Goat, you got any comments for that?
It's cool.
Next.
Okay. Next. Ron, can we please get your list?
Yeah. I'll give it to you guys since you want it.
Pause.
Lord have mercy.
Willie, I was not reading that super chat, by the way. That was crazy.
Ron, I can't wait to argue with you about your top 10, bro.
Me too.
I need to get this on paper.
Get it on paper and check this out. It's going to match up very close to the GO calculator. Very close.
All right, go ahead, Ron.
All right. Number one. None other than Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We don't need to go into that. Y'all know how I feel. I done debated Dub down to his socks about this. I didn't fried Mars on this. Shaq done got it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best player to ever touch a basketball, to ever lace up some kicks and run on the hardwood. Next, we're going to go Michael Jordan. After Jordan, number 3, Magic Johnson. Number 4, Kobe Bean Bryant. Number 5, LeBron James. Number 6, Shaquille O'Neal. 7, Tim Duncan. 8, Hakeem. 9, Larry Bird. 10, Bill Russell.
What is the criteria?
Criteria is heavily predicated on winning. Heavily predicated on winning. On the biggest stage. Heavily predicated on winning on the biggest stage. Furthermore, I'll throw longevity in there. I'll also throw like being able to hoop, eye test, what you were able to do, and then obviously accolades as well. It's a mix of everything, but it's heavily predicated on winning.
Why is Bill Russell 10 then?
Because, like I said, you have to factor in everything else. Bill Russell's in my top 10 only on winning.
I mean, what?
Only on because all the other 9 players are better basketball players than Bill Russell does.
So you're caught up in vanity.
No.
And looks.
Well, you said one of his things is eye test, like hooper stuff.
I mean, that goes heavily into it.
I mean, Bill Russell in his time, especially anchoring the defenses he did. I mean,
the winning. You're gonna run to Bill Russell.
It doesn't. It's not because it's not consistent with your logic. Because
what's not consistent?
Because if your main thing is winning, and then it's in terms of Bill Russell in his day as well. I mean, you're the main guy that hearts for people caring about defense more. So the fact that you have Bill Russell 10, discounting him because of his offense, but then not giving him praise for his defense as well. I mean, you would say that defense is part of being a basketball player, right?
Absolutely, and so is offense. And everybody above him on that list is a better offensive player, and they're all two-way players. Everybody that I mentioned on there is a two-way player.
But defense,
nobody in my top 10 is not a
two-way.
Ron, other than Magic.
But a guy who's relative to his era is arguably probably the best or the second best defender of all time. On top of being the best defender of one of the best defenders of all time, he was a good passer for his time as well. On top of being a good passer for his time, the man was a player coach and contributed to his team and being a main catalyst to his team, winning 11 rings. It just doesn't make sense to me that that guy is not at least. Like,
where's Bill Russell on your list? Where's Bill Russell on your list?
I don't rank Bill Russell because I didn't watch enough games on him.
Okay, then. All right, then. So, like,
what you mean? I mean, that's just me, but it's just not consistent with your logic, bro.
So what I can say, he's not consistent with your logic for you not ranking him. Ranking Bill Russell at 10. Me ranking Bill Russell at 10 is partially because the era he played in, partially because the 9 players in front of him, like how I keep telling you, are better basketball players than him. Now, if you want to go to defense and rebounding and winning, yes, he did do those, but my list is predicated a lot on talent too, which is why, I have some guys ahead of some guys.
But if it's predicated a lot on talent, why is LeBron James not above Magic Johnson? Because he's more talented. He's more talented, has more winning. He's clearly a better basketball player than Magic Johnson, and he has as many rings.
Better basketball player than Magic.
What? Don't fucking cap.
Better basketball player.
What are you talking about,
Ron? He's not clearly a better basketball player.
I have a question, Ron.
What's up?
You don't have
sorry for cursing.
In your top 10?
Do I have Steph in my top 10? No.
And why is that?
So the reason for me not having Steph in my top 10 is because I think all of those guys in the top 10, and how I just said, two-way players, they're better two-way players than Steph. I don't think that Steph is a better player, basketball player, than none of those 10 guys I ranked. Possibly Bill Russell, but when we go into that, like how I said, a lot of my list is heavily predicated on winning. Steph is one, but he hasn't won more than Bill Russell.
Ron,
what's up?
I want you to tell me and tell the chat, the masses of our basketball community, how is Magic Johnson a better basketball player? You said basketball player.
Yeah.
How is Magic a better basketball player than LeBron and fucking Kobe? Because you have Magic above both of them.
Yes.
I'm sorry for cursing again. I'm sorry.
The best point guard of all time and one of the best offensive players of all time.
No, elaborate more. How is he a better basketball player? Skill, talent. How?
Skill, talent. I mean, when we start breaking it down, playmaking, Magic clears both of them. Running an offense, Magic clears both of them. Hey, remember we were talking about basketball IQ? Magic happens to be one of those guys where when it comes to basketball IQ, he has a better IQ than LeBron James.
Well, when we talk about IQ for Chris Paul, you didn't care about that.
But you cared about it, so that's why I brought it up for you to care.
Ron, this is your list.
You to care about.
This is your list. But this is your list. This isn't my list, Ron. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It is my list.
If you're having Bill Russell at 10, and then you're saying all these guys are better basketball players and great basketball players and everything, then in my head it's like, well, MJ is clearly a better basketball player than Kareem. On top of being a better basketball player, he has the winning and the dominance.
I don't think he's clearly a better basketball player. You guys look at MJ and see him dunking on people and doing all the finesse and stuff like that.
What is being a basketball player then, Ron?
What do you mean? What is being a better basketball player?
What's your criteria of being a basketball player?
I mean, you got to understand with MJ, when you're talking about guards and big men, things get a little finicky. So it's like when we're comparing Michael Jordan to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it's when you're talking about better basketball players, they play different positions. So they both bring different things to the table.
Mm-hmm. But who brings more to the table?
Who brings more to the table? I think Kareem and what he does.
As a basketball player?
Yes.
No, he doesn't. Ron, what are you talking about, bro?
Look, he checks off the same check marks in the scoring department, which is where MJ thrives the most.
No, he does not. No, he does not. He does not check off the same list in the scoring department. No, MJ's a better. Go ahead. My bad, PSP.
Go ahead, Doug. Go ahead.
No, MJ's a better passer. One, he's a better scorer. Like it's not even arguable. He's a better scorer. It's not arguable. It's not arguable. It's not. His better scorer, defender. That's where you sit here and say I can see you say that's comparable where defender wise. But even then, MJ as a defender is amazing. So it's like the guy who checks more on the checkbox for talent and skills and basketball, leadership, IQ, all of this.
I'm not going to say leadership. I'm not going to say IQ with Jordan over
leadership.
I'm not gonna say
Kareem wasn't even a leader like that, Ron. He wasn't.
I'm not gonna say.
And I know that.
IQ. I'm not gonna say that.
He was not a leader like that, Ron. He was not.
Yo, and
that's a fact.
Here's another thing, though. I'm not gonna debate against Jordan. That's a 1A, 1B type of thing. How we just said Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell, and I favor Kareem just because of longevity and because at his peak, Kareem was doing shit that Jordan couldn't do.
What was he doing that he didn't do? MJ scored 37.
Okay, and what's the most that Kareem has averaged?
35 on a crazier fast pace.
Okay, but see, you'll always bring that in. He's
still more. It's still more. Even with that pace, MJ still did more.
Yo, check this out. Kareem averaged 35 and 16 as a rookie in the playoffs, bro. It's just certain things, and I could say Jordan's never done that. It's certain things that Kareem has done that Jordan's never done. But I'm not about to just keep going back and forth about Jordan and Kareem. Like,
no, the thing that I'm harping on. I mean, MJ had 43 in his second year, so I mean that's something that I don't think.
And it was against the Celtics. MJ was going crazy.
Then 35 in his third year as well. So the whole point of the thing is, and me questioning is the logic is just not consistent with
what logic is not consistent.
I just told
because
you
this is where you're all over the place. You're just trying to run to people and say, oh well, why is this person not over this person and that? What logic is not consistent?
Because it's not consistent. Because
what logic is not consistent?
I'm about to tell you. You opened up with I heavily account winning. I heavily account winning, which is fine. And then you was like, I include talent and skill and everything. I questioned Bill Russell first. Then you mentioned all these guys being better basketball players. I said, cool.
Because I said I heavily talent. That's why.
Great.
Yes, he won.
Great.
Talent-wise, he doesn't exceed these guys.
Cool. But then guys like LeBron and Kobe, who's won at the same level as Magic Johnson.
They haven't. Kobe has.
Who's won at the same.
Kobe has.
Are you They've won on the same level of Magic. One ring is not moving you. Ron, one ring should not move you. They've won on damn near the same
now
level.
I'm about to put it into perspective.
How is one ring moving you, but 11 isn't?
Can I put it into perspective?
How is one ring moving you, but 11 isn't, Ron?
Time out. Is one more or no?
It's barely. But how is one ring moving you, but 11 is not?
Can I put it into perspective or not?
Go ahead.
Nobody has Bill Russell in their top 5, first off. So just get that the fuck out of here.
A lot of people.
Second off, we're not talking about Bill Russell. We're talking about LeBron, Magic, and Kobe, right? This is why I have Magic over both of them. Because his 5 rings over a 10-year span is more than Kobe's 5 rings over a 16, 17, or he played 19 years, right? That's more over a 19-year span. And also LeBron's 4 rings, 4 out of 10, over a 20-year span doesn't compare to Magic's. Magic did more in a shorter amount of time than both of those guys did. He won more over a shorter amount of time than both of those guys did. And that's why I have Magic Johnson, because his ability to win over that short time frame.
You know what's so funny?
What's
LeBron James won 4 rings in 10 years. Within a 10-year sample size, he's won 4 rings within the last decade. Okay. Magic Johnson won 5 rings in the last decade.
Okay.
All right. So I get you. LeBron had a longer career, but guess what? They both accomplished the same amount in the same amount of time span of 10 years. LeBron has so many more years, just at a higher and better level than Magic Johnson. He's a better player than Magic Johnson, basketball player, more talented. It doesn't make sense, Ron.
If we're talking about longevity, then LeBron gets it. But if we're talking about
Kareem over MJ for longevity too?
You said what?
Don't you have Kareem over MJ for longevity too?
Longevity factors into it a little bit,
yeah. So how don't it factor in with Magic?
What do you mean? Why doesn't it factor in with Magic?
How does it factor in for Kareem and MJ?
Over his 10 and 11-year span, he did more than in terms of winning than LeBron did. I have to value that. If you win 5 rings in 10 years and you only played 10, 11 years, I'm valuing that. LeBron had a whole first 10-year span where he did absolutely nothing. So I have to factor that in.
Jay, you got it, bro.
Nate Richmond just re-upped his membership on the YouTube channel for 4 months. Appreciate you, Nate. Said, Ron, is it talent or winning?
It's both. You have to factor in both. I'm not just going to dismiss one of them. Now, I heavily predicate championships. That's part of the reason why I have Magic above LeBron. I don't care if it's 1 championship, Dub. He did 1 more championship in 10 less years than LeBron did. It took LeBron 20 years to get 4 championships.
Yo, Ron, Wait, you have Duncan over Shaq?
No, I have Shaq over Duncan.
He has Shaq 6, Tim Duncan 7.
Why?
Because I think Shaq was more dominant.
Wait, I got a question though.
Oh my God.
If that's how we're doing it, then why do we have Kareem 1, MJ 2, where it's like Kareem 20 years to get 6 rings and MJ 13 years to get 6 rings?
Once again, because remember, I said I'm factoring in longevity as well.
So you're not factoring.
Look. If they both have 6 rings, but Kareem did it for a little longer, then I'm going with Kareem. But once again, I said that's 1A, 1B. So with the Kareem and Jordan, I'm not going to argue Jordan at all.
No,
the issue
is, Ron. No, the issue is, Ron, you're not applying the same energy to everybody.
What energy am I not applying, Dub? I don't understand. What energy am I not applying?
Hey, Goated just put you on a spike without even trying, which was hilarious.
Because I said I value winning, right? I said I value winning. They both have 6 championships, right?
Yeah, okay, but MJ did it in a shorter amount of time.
Did it for longer.
So LeBron has 4 and played at a longer time.
And Magic has more than him.
The one ring
should have not the same amount. Magic has more than him.
Why is Kobe better? Why is Kobe not better?
Why is Kobe not better than Magic?
Yeah.
For the same thing I just said. He won more in a lesser span of time.
What?
That's why.
But Kobe played longer.
Yeah. So look, Magic or Kobe takes the longevity, but like I said, Magic won more in a shorter stint of time. I value that more.
Kobe,
because look, if I would have
from when he got drafted in 97 to 2010, that's 13 years.
14.
Right? 14 years.
He was drafted in 96.
The Magic's 12 years, right?
Magic was drafted 79, I think.
No, when did he retire? It was 1991, after the 91 season.
91.
That's 12 seasons. 14 and 12. They damn near did the same amount in around the same amount of time. How isn't he better?
One of those.
How isn't he better?
One of those seasons where Magic was gold. He was retired for 4 seasons, obviously the HIV, and then he came back.
Oh my God, are you really including?
I'm not including that 32 season. Games. What are you talking about?
I'm not including that season.
We're not going to add that in. Magic played 11 years.
We're not bringing it. We don't. Well, let's be real. We don't talk about MJ on his Wizards here, bro. We're not going to talk about Magic in that year.
You said he played 13 seasons. I'm trying to tell you he played 11.
Ron,
I said 12.
Magic over Kobe because of accolades, because Magic has 3 Finals MVPs, Kobe has 2. Magic has 3 league MVPs, Kobe has 1.
A little bit of that factors in, and on top of that, so a little bit of the accolades factor in. They won the same amount of finals. Magic has, a little more, 1 more Finals MVP. But like I said, bro, I just got Magic over Kobe. That's one of those where it's not really. We can argue about it, but I just have Magic over Kobe. If I was to start a franchise today and I had Magic or Kobe, and this is no knock to Kobe, I love Kobe. I would rather have Magic as my number 3 pick than I would at Kobe if Kareem and Jordan's off the board.
I want to give my list. What's my list?
Nate Richmond, Magic and Kareem helped each other's cases.
And just like Kobe and Shaq helped each other's cases.
Killing Ron, man. I'm just laughing.
Like Mars, I just seen your message. You funny as hell. Mars,
so you come up here and give your top 10.
Said Kareem.
Give your top 10 on the panel, and then we'll all sit around and nitpick at your top 10 too.
He said Kareem over MJ because of longevity. And then you're not applying that with Kobe or Magic.
I said because they've won the same amount. First off, I'm starting with winning.
Kobe won the same amount. Kobe won the same amount.
Yes.
And did a higher level.
You said what?
Kobe won the same amount and played at a high level.
Wait, hold on. I got a question for Ron. Are you discounting Kobe, Ron, Shaq, because of Shaq when he won those 3 championships? Are you discounting Kobe because of that?
No, I would never do that. I don't, because Kobe was balling during those years. Once again, when it comes to Kobe and Magic,
the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of people use that as an argument against Kobe. That's all.
No, I don't. When it comes to Kobe and Magic, it's literally they're right there on the same tier as each other. I just prefer Magic because I just like Magic more than Kobe.
Get your bars up media with the super chat. This all-time list boils down to longevity versus efficiency. Salute panel, hashtag get your bars up. Jose Primo said Bron ain't get to play with Kareem at 19.
Yo, Bron has played with an all-star for every year of his career after he left Cleveland. Every year. So like, bro, I'm not gonna give LeBron any type of passes on that. I know you guys say, oh, Kobe had Shaq, Magic had Kareem. Okay, and they all did have good teams, but LeBron's had multiple All-Stars on his team every year since. So, bro, I'm not giving LeBron no bail at all.
Hey, yo, guys, this was fun, but I gotta bounce now. So
be safe, bro.
All right,
Mr.
Goat.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Hey, yo.
Thanks for having me on.
When you finish your top 5, I need you to come back up here.
Okay.
All right.
I got more projects too. I'm revamping the calculator so I can tell it, give it some a start year and end year. It can tell me goats of certain eras, and I can do goats of different teams. I got a whole bunch of different things I can do with it too coming up. So.
Gotcha, bro.
Stay tuned.
Be safe.
Yep.
Have fun in Hawaii.
Appreciate it.
Dub, I can't wait to hear your list, man.
All right.
I got my list ready, man.
All right. I got to put this down on paper as well. Come on.
My criteria is mainly like prime, how long you play like at a top 5 level, winning a little bit but not too much. Mainly just like your impact on the game. So I did have MJ1, but LeBron playing at this level for like 18 years now, I have to put LeBron at number 1. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy. LeBron, MJ, Kobe, Hakeem, Shaq, Kareem, Tim Duncan, KD, Larry Bird, Steph.
Can you repeat that? You got Braun 1, MJ 2, Kobe 3, Hakeem 4, Shaq 5th, Tim Duncan 6.
No, Kareem 6.
Oh, Kareem 6. I'm sorry.
Tim Duncan 7.
Okay.
KD 8, Bird 9, and then Steph 10.
You have KD 8?
Yeah.
Nasty.
Elaborate.
Nasty.
Well, when I look at the best, because the other people are in that realm, so I have like Tim Duncan is the last person on like the secondary tier that I have. Then it has KD, Larry Bird, Steph, and Magic in the same tier. That's like my 8 through 11. I think that KD is a better player than Stephen Curry, mainly because I think that Kevin Durant has been a better player than Kevin Durant in more years. I mean, better player than Stephen Curry in more years than not, mainly because I lived through it. I know what he brings. He's the better scorer, the better defender. Steph is the better passer and does impact the game heavily. KD impacts the game as well. Both are great impact on winning. KD, then like Larry Bird as well. That's where I kind of have struggles with. That's depending on the day. One day I might have Larry Bird or KD. So that one is like I'm always deciding. I don't know which one to decide on with that one. But yeah, I just think that's it. Then KD maybe then Magic Johnson could be on the lower end of that.
So you have KD ranked above Magic, Steph, and Larry?
Yeah.
For what reasons? Just scoring?
KD
because he was top 5 because he was top 5 in the NBA for longer. Is that what you're saying?
Larry, that could contribute to it as well. KD being top 5 for longer.
So when was Magic not top 5 during his stint in the NBA?
Magic Johnson probably came out.
No. I said Larry.
Larry?
Yeah.
Larry's probably been top 5 for a large portion of his career, probably 10 years.
Probably 10 years? And during those 10 years, with him being a top 5 player, what was he able to do?
He did a lot.
That KD wasn't able to do.
He did a lot.
Because KD being in his top 10 is one outlier, and I'm running straight to KD. KD's the only dude in his top 10 that, as the alpha of his team, hasn't done anything.
But Larry Bird also had a super team as well. I think you could argue Larry Bird out the gate greatly impacted his team to winning. He was really the main acquisition, and I think they went from like 30 wins to like 50 or 60 wins, and then they went to the championship in the second year. So Larry Bird, that's the one guy where if I have Larry over KD, like I'm not going to argue against that. So KD and Larry Bird are always fluctuating between me, so I would never.
So it can fluctuate, because when I said it could fluctuate, all of a sudden it was a problem.
No, it's just for KD and Larry Bird.
Though. Oh, it's just for KD and Larry Bird. Okay, let's talk about KD and Magic, because we all know that KD over Larry.
Okay, Bird I'll do that. Yeah,
it's nasty when you talk about KD over Larry Bird. Now we would all say that Magic Johnson's a better player than Larry Bird. You don't have Magic Johnson ahead of Larry or KD. Elaborate.
Magic, for the same reasons that people penalize Kevin Durant, it's kind of weird because that same logic can apply to Magic Johnson as well. Magic Johnson isn't really great at a lot of things besides passing and playmaking. Passing,
winning.
Yeah, winning, that's fine. But passing and playmaking, that's the main thing that he's really all-time great at. And those are the same people reasonings that people try to diminish KD. They say and say, KD, you're a great scorer, you're a phenomenal scorer, you're one of the best of all time. That's the only great attribute that you provide, and that's the same thing that can apply to Magic Johnson as well. I think Magic Johnson walking into a scenario where he was already a part of a super duper squad. He had to walk in and just do his part. I mean, I think it's great what he did, but I'm not going to put him over over Kevin Durant when he was in the super duper squad, just played at a great level, arguably a higher level than him. So he was a better defender. He was a great scorer. He was one of the most efficient scorers as well of all time. KD on that super team just played better than Magic Johnson, in my opinion. That Kate, when they won back-to-back chips.
No, I'm saying under what act did he play better than him? Because he scored more?
Score more, was a better defender.
He had a better defense.
No, he was a better defender.
I wouldn't necessarily say he was a better defender. He had a better defense, and now he was held accountable to start playing defense.
Magic Johnson wasn't as good of a defender than Kevin Durant at all.
So, are you arguing that KD's a better player, or he like? Yeah, bro. Once again, we just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Okay.
Gabe with the super chat. Ron, I love you, bro, but this is wild.
Okay.
TMF Willie. Ron, pull up to open gym. I got to cook you for this. Ija Morris. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Kareem only 2 finals MVPs. MJ all 6. Jose Primo, a declining all-star. Jason the Kid with the super chat. Braun has the second most finals MVPs in NBA history.
I'm just, it's no way I can let this KD thing go. Because if KD is this ultimate player, all-time player, number 8 on your list, I just don't understand why the number 8 player of all time hasn't done anything as an alpha.
Well, a lot of that contributes to one Oklahoma City Thunder. In 2016, the roster they had just wasn't suited for a lot of people to be successful in that system. Like LeBron James in 2016, I don't think he could work that much in that system as well, mainly because of spacing. I think they would have had a worse time going against the Golden State Warriors than Kevin Durant did. The only reason why they were even up 3-1 is because of Kevin Durant and who he is as a player. So Kevin Durant being that, yes, because LeBron James, they would have get rid of Andre Roberson and those guys to provide more shooting. KD is the reason why that was able to flourish and to function so that they could commit to defense.
So he didn't have other players over there?
He only have Russ.
But you just said the whole thing was because of KD. But if Chris Paul was over there, you would say that
the only reason that system was able to work and thrive and to go up to 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors is because of Kevin Durant and his ability to space the floor.
So Russ had nothing to do with that.
Russ did have a lot to do with it, but if LeBron James was there, a lot of people was there at that time, they wouldn't be able to flourish, or the system wouldn't be able to flourish the same way.
Why are we talking about LeBron though? We're supposed to be talking about.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about KD. Like that's a testament to him that he was able to make a situation like that work. He was able to make a situation like that to damn near beat the most winning team of all time.
He had a top 10 player in the NBA at that moment on his team. He had a top 5 point guard, top 3, really top 2 point guard in the NBA on his team. But it was just him. But go ahead, continue.
No, I didn't say that. I said the system worked mainly because of him.
Okay, continue.
It really worked only because
I can say it worked because of Russ, but continue. Go ahead.
No, because at the end of the day, if Russ is paired up next to, let's say, I use LeBron, for instance, that system wouldn't work. They would have to move pieces around in order to provide spacing for the two, and then they wouldn't be put in a position to go up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. They wouldn't.
So what about
Russell Westbrook did his job, but
so essentially what you're doing for KD is you're blaming his system and his teammates. You're saying Russ wasn't a good enough teammate to help him win.
I just don't think that they did a good enough job of building them around them, and then on top of them not doing a good enough job, KD and Russ didn't really have a lot of postseasons healthy together. They had 2012, 2014.
It was about 2 seasons. Russ was injured for one postseason, and KD was injured for one postseason.
Yeah, and then they lost to the San Antonio Spurs, who beat the Miami Heat at that time. So I'm not going to really hold that too much against them. Yeah.
I would just expect a top 10 player of all time during his stints in the NBA to go to more than 3 finals and to win more than 2.
No, well, my criteria is different from yours though. My criteria, winning is a part of it, but not. I'm looking mainly on the overall impact. Like Kevin Durant in 2020.
Overall impact? What did KD impact besides the stat sheet? Because when I say Russ did that, all of a sudden it was oh well.
No, KD's, like I said, KD's impact on the game. KD was a large portion of the reason why that system was able to work. Impact.
What system?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
So once again, it was only KD.
I'm not saying I said large.
He didn't have James. He didn't have James Harden. He didn't have.
No, I'm talking about 2016.
He didn't have Steven Adams. So why are you talking about 1 year? He was a top 10 player of all time. The year before that, he was a top 10 player. The year before that, he's been in 2012. He was a top 5 player in the NBA. Top 3. A lot of people will argue. So why weren't they able to win during those times?
Because the team wasn't good enough.
Hello, Mars.
I have about 27 grievances with your list, Ron.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, we could talk. Let's talk about. So Ron, like I said,
JD, I only got like 15 to 30 minutes. So Mars, get
Ron, wait, Ron. Let me finish real quick before Mars is continue. Like Kevin Durant in his career gets severely underrated mainly because of the postseason success. But if you really just look at that team, the team wasn't really greatly built around Russ and KD. Russ and KD were amazing, but they needed more floor spacing and they needed more guys to stretch the floor. But they consistently relied on just those two to make magic out of nothing. So a lot of the time they didn't win, mainly because a lot of times they just weren't the better team. On top of not being a better team, the team just wasn't constructed properly around those guys. On top of that, what Kevin Durant did in 2021 was actually one of the best things I've seen in his career. And almost going to Game 7 with, in a lot of people's opinion, a worse team in the Brooklyn Nets. Going to Game 7 with those guys, performing at a high level, him as the number 1 guy. That's
not impressive for a top 10 player of all time. That's not impressive for a top 10 player of all time. A player number 8. It is impressive. I could have dropped anybody, and this is what I'm gonna say this year, and then I'm gonna go back to the 3-1 when they were up 3-1 against Golden State. Any player in his top 10, if you put them in that series against the Bucks, they more than likely take them to with that team that the Nets
disagree.
Have. All of those players on there, they go to Game 7. And on top of that, they have a good series.
I'm
gonna go back to Golden State though. When OKC was up 3-1, I guarantee you, if we take anybody else that's in the top 10 and we put them on that OKC team and we say we need you to just get 1 win.
There's a reason why he's on the lower.
We need you to get 1 win.
There's a reason.
We need you to win 1 game before they win 3 games. Everybody else on that list.
There's a reason why he's on the lower.
With Russell Westbrook, everybody on that list gets.
There's a reason why he's on the lower part of the list. So argue about the people. If Magic Johnson was
on the lower, on the lower part.
He's on the lower part. Like I said, if you want to have Larry Bird over KD, that's fine. So he's at 9.
It's Larry Bird.
He's at 9. He's at 9. Wait, Ron. Before you continue, I don't have Bill. No.
I know you don't have Bill Russell on there.
I don't have Bill Russell. So argue against the people. Argue against the people that I have under him, not the people that
Bill Russell's under him. Bill Russell's under him.
Bill Russell,
Bill Russell isn't eligible.
I don't rank him,
and that's the problem.
No, it's not the problem because I'm being respectful, Ron. I'm not going to rank somebody. I'm not going to. Okay, cool. Thank you. Now we can talk about this.
Because look, Magic is nasty.
Can I finish?
Because
this is my list. This is my list.
Magic being under KD is nasty.
Can I? Because this is my list.
Larry Bird is nasty.
Wait, this is my list. So can I answer the question? Right.
What question?
You asked me. So you said all the guys. You said all the guys. And no. I need to address something that you keep harping on.
Okay.
You talking about top 10 player. A lot of people in the top 10 is going to be able to get that done. Like I said, I'm not arguing against that. If you want to argue about Larry Bird, that's fine. Okay, there's a reason why. Wait, Ron. Let me finish. There's a reason why KD is 8 and 9. He's at the lower part of that. Stephen Curry in that position, I don't think he's replicating that. Magic Johnson in that position, I don't think he's replicating that. I don't think he'll be able to replicate the fact that his 2 main guys were getting hurt out this series, and then his other guy was on 1 leg, and be able to have 35 and 10 and provide good defense as well.
Yo, so can I bring you back to one of the legendary stories of Magic Johnson and what he did in Game 7? In a Game 7, what that was his rookie year.
That's 1 game.
That was his rookie. They only needed to win 1 game.
KD played the entire series.
They only needed to win 1 game.
Ron, he needed to win 2 games.
What do you
needed? No. He needed to win. Kyrie got hurt. Kyrie got
talking
hurt.
about the Golden State Warriors when OKC was up 3-1 and KD let them walk them down.
Ron, that's not the series
A
I'm
top
talking
10 player
about.
of all time doesn't let that happen.
That's not the series I'm talking about, Ron.
That's the series I'm talking about.
All right, never mind. You got it, Mars. I'm not talking about that.
You're talking about the Nets?
Oh my God. Why are you guys debating KD so much?
Go ahead.
Because KD's in his top 10, and that's nasty. But Mars, you're going to come up here.
He wants to cook me. Right. He wants to cook me. That's
me about my whole top 10. Mars, you're going to come up here and try to nitpick at my whole top 10.
It's not nitpicking.
It's not nitpicking. Over here, Dub has KD top 10.
I disagree with Dub
behind him. He has Magic behind him. He has Larry
too.
Bird, and on top of that, you have Steph behind him. During KD's whole career, he hasn't done nothing more impressive than Steph. Nothing.
Yeah, I disagree with Dub too, but it's not nitpicking your list. Your list just has the most egregious holes in it we've ever seen.
Oh, what's okay?
I'll go for it from 1 through 10.
Let's
First of all, you have Kareem over Michael Jordan.
Yes.
I heard you say Magic Johnson is over Kobe because he won more in less time. Then you said Kareem is over Michael Jordan because he won more with more longevity. Yes. Those two are polar opposite reasons. They don't make sense. You can't say Kareem is over MJ because he won more for a longer time, and then say Magic is over Kobe because he won more in less time. Okay, that's hypocrisy.
So check this out. Check this out. Because I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Jordan and Kareem are 1A, 1B. Okay. So when it comes to that, I'm gonna favor the person who I like more and who I think games translates more. Translates to winning more. And I'm gonna go with Kareem. I think he was, and then on top of that, we got to go through all the accolades too. When we go through all the accolades, Kareem has more accolades than Jordan.
Okay, the accolade argument, that's cool.
Okay,
no, that's fine. So Kareem has more accolades than Jordan, sure.
Okay, and then
the reason
has more accolades than Kobe,
sure. But then the reason LeBron isn't over Magic and Kobe with more accolades is because of one championship, correct? That's the reason.
That championship factor.
Okay, that's fine. But Bill Russell quintupling Hakeem's championships with more accolades, but yet he's still 2 spots behind him.
And who's a better player?
So now it's about better basketball play. You see how the goalpost is flying everywhere.
No,
you see how the goalpost is flying everywhere.
I said my list starts with winning.
We start with winning. So start with Hakeem being quintupled by Bill Russell. Start with that. Quintuple.
What I'm saying. No, listen to what I'm saying.
Start with that. Just start with that. It starts with winning. Quintupled. Yes.
It starts with winning.
11-2.
Talent is factored heavily into there too. I would say winning's probably 30, 40%. I don't remember my exact percentages. It's like 30, 40%. Talent is probably like 25%. So talent and winning go hand in hand.
That's right. But you also said accolades, correct?
Accolades as well.
Who has more accolades, Bill Russell or Hakeem?
The reason why I have Bill Russell or Hakeem over Bill Russell is because he's a better player. And
like the 25% has made him. The 25% has put him higher.
No, Bill Russell's only on my list because of winning. All 9 of those players ahead of him are better players.
So he's not on the list because of accolades too. 5 MVPs, 11 championships. Bill Russell. 5 MVPs is accolades.
Because of that, he makes.
No, you said because of rings. What about accolades? Bill Russell has accolades too.
He has all of that, but all 9 of those players are better players than him.
So because of the 25% talent, which you said 25%, that's enough. When he clears Hakeem in accolades and clears Hakeem in rings, which were 2 bigger portions of the list. So do you understand how percentages work? Because right now that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Bill Russell's on my list because of his accolades. Now, when it comes to just hooping, all of those players clear him.
What you're saying makes no sense. What you're saying makes no sense.
It doesn't have to make sense.
It does have to make sense.
I'm telling you that Bill Russell's only on my list because of winning. Now, when you factor in the ability,
that was 60% of your list.
When you factor in the ability to hoop, everybody else clears him.
So Bill Russell is number 1 out of everyone for 30% of your list. He's like top 5 for another 30% of your list.
Okay,
but because he's worse than everyone on your list at 25%, that puts him at the back. That's not how percentages work. The thing you value the least isn't enough to put someone at 10 when he's number 1 in the other thing.
Bill Russell's an exception.
Now it's an exception.
He's an exemption. He's an exemption. Okay. Like I said, bro, if you guys want to come up here and try to argue me, Bill Russell being better than those guys, where's he on your list, Mars?
Number 4.
You don't even rank him. You don't even rank him, which is a problem.
Bill Russell's number 4 on my list.
So what do you want to debate Bill Russell against all these guys?
I don't have to. What I'm debating, I don't care about who you have where. I don't care about who you have where. I have an issue with the fact that your list the criteria is changing each person down the list. It's 100% it's changing each person.
Because everybody has a different case and everybody has a different experience.
But based on the things you value, people should be in different places, but you're moving the goalpost to put people where you want to put them. Okay. That's what you're doing.
All right, so look, I'm not taking Bill Russell over at 9. Who did I have? I had Larry Bird 9. I'm not taking him over Larry Bird 9. Move him above Larry Bird on my list.
So Larry Bird with 3 championships and 3 MVPs because he's a better basketball player can be over the guy with 5 MVPs and 11 championships.
Because you just said it, because he's a better basketball player.
Okay, but if the list was about better basketball player, you wouldn't have LeBron James at 5.
I think Kobe's a better basketball player, and I think Magic Johnson's a better basketball player. You guys might not agree.
Magic Johnson's a better basketball player because he's a better playmaker and higher IQ.
I think so.
So being a better defender means nothing with LeBron. Clearing him as a scorer means nothing with LeBron. Clearing him in longevity means nothing for LeBron. You guys may call
it blasphemy. I would rather have Magic Johnson as my
Who is your number 6? Who is your number 6?
I had Shaq.
He has Kareem.
No,
Kareem's number 1.
I have Kareem.
So Shaq's your number 6, which would mean he's above Tim Duncan.
Yes.
Who has more championships.
Shaq's a better player than him.
But he has more championships.
Yes,
more accolades. More accolades. So now it's back to the better basketball player.
Because I can't rank some in my top 10. I can't.
You need to change. You need to change your percentages. Then
I'm telling you why.
Then change your percentages.
You don't want to listen to it
because it doesn't make sense. You need to change your percentages.
If you listen to what I'm telling you,
what you're saying doesn't make sense.
What I'm telling you.
Okay, Ron. Let me ask you one question. Did you or did you not say talent is 25%?
I said I don't know my percentages exactly.
You said around 25%.
I can't remember my exact percentages.
I highly doubt you got 25 and 60 mixed up.
I said I can't remember my exact percentages. I think that winning was 30 to 40, and I said I think that talent was around 20. It could be more. They both could be 40-40. They both could be even. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Sure, but you did say around 20, you think. Based off of that, your argument for everyone being over everyone can't be talent when you value the other things more and they're better in those attributes.
Mars, I told you
that can't make sense.
And then you asked me the specific cases of Shaq and Tim Duncan. Then you asked me the specific cases of Bill Russell versus everybody else. I told you that the first 9 people are better basketball players than Bill Russell, and that's why I have them ranked ahead of Bill Russell. And then you asked me, and then you hold on, let me finish. Then you asked me Shaq and Tim Duncan. I think Shaq was a more dominant force than Tim Duncan, and I would take Shaq on my team over Tim Duncan any day of the week, and that's why I'm putting Shaq ahead of Tim Duncan. When it comes to those 2 players and how close they are, I can't take Shaq or I can't take Tim Duncan over Shaq if I'm going to take Shaq over Tim Duncan. To me, that's just ass backwards. So that's why I have Shaq ranked ahead of Tim Duncan. I do think that they're very close. I think I'm not going to, if you came up here and said, I have Tim Duncan ahead of Shaq, I'm not going to sit here and give you no flack because I can't argue that. But what I will say and why I put Shaq ahead of Tim Duncan is because I think he was a better basketball player. And I would take him ahead of Tim Duncan.
This would all be solved if you just said you don't value winning as highly as you value.
I value.
You clearly don't value winning more than you value talent. Your whole list is screaming that. That's what it is. Your whole list is screaming you value talent more than winning. All you have to do is say that.
Absolutely.
All you have to do is say that.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, though. It's a couple. It may be a couple flaws in my list. It may be a couple flaws where somebody didn't win as much as somebody, and this, that, and the third. But once again, I'm going, and I probably should have started with this. My list is who I think is a better player. So all throughout my list, it's who I think are the better players. Now, yes, when you have players that are just like this, for some people, winning tips the scale. For Shaq and Tim Duncan, winning doesn't tip the scale because I think Shaq was a much better player than Tim Duncan.
So like I said, you value talent more than the winning.
You can say that, I guess, but I value winning heavily as well. And
but the whole reason I've had an issue with your list is because you said you value winning more than everything else. But everything you've said here is telling me you value talent over the winning, which I have no problem with. It's just that you lied at the start.
Hey, my list is my list. All right, that's what it is.
Ron, have you?
My list is my list.
Well, you
everybody who I have ahead of the person in front of them, I think they're a better player than me.
Ron, let me ask you this.
I like your list, Ron.
Ron, let me ask you this. If a girl, right? If a girl comes into your life and tells you what she values, tell you, consistently, this is what I like, this is what I do, this is what I like doing, I like eating at this spot and this spot, I hate this spot, right? That she's consistently letting you know her criteria, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have a problem with her when almost on a day-to-day basis, she switches up. Oh yeah, I told you this that I like going to McDonald's every day, but I'll go McDonald's one day and then I'll go have a Burger King the next, and then I'll have KFC the next, and then I'll have I don't know some other shit. But she told you in the beginning that she did this every day, but she's changing it up almost every single day that you've been around her. Wouldn't you find that as a problem?
Dub, I'm not finna sit here and criticize a bitch because she want to eat McDonald's one day.
No. Wouldn't you? No, that's no. You're not understanding the message.
No, I get what you're saying, but that was a terrible example because of what she wants to eat.
No, Ron, because
you got Indian, you got Asian. Like, come on, bro. Like that was a terrible example.
These analogies throw me off.
Okay, Ron.
That was a terrible example.
Okay,
Give me a better example, and then we can talk about.
What if she?
Yeah,
what if she's asking?
No.
What if no? What if she's asking something from you, right? Like a value that she has that you should do, like to be consistent with. Like tell her good morning, beautiful every single day.
Now give me another example.
Right?
No, I can do this.
Go ahead, Mars. Go ahead, Mars.
Okay, so what if you're with a girl and she says, I'm not really into looks. Looks are okay, but what I care about is a man who'll take me out, who'll treat me, who'll provide for me, who'll do all the little things for me. And then you do all of those things, and then turns out she leaves you for a man who does none of those things but looks better than you. Would that make sense to you?
And I'm gonna tell you why it would make sense to me because she can tell me, and all of us up here will agree with this. And all of us up here will agree with this. She can tell me looks don't matter, but she's just saying that to try to pacify me. Looks do matter. She's not gonna want to be with me if she doesn't think that I'm somewhat attractive in one way, shape, or form.
Wouldn't you think that's a problem though? Wouldn't you think that's a problem though?
I'm not stupid enough to look past her saying that. You guys may let her words deceive you, but I know if she's not.
So it's our fault for letting your words say where winning means more than everything deceive us because real and truly is talent. We should have just known.
Winning factors in heavily. Everybody up there that I had has won.
But winning isn't your main factor. Winning isn't your main factor. But winning isn't your main factor. Otherwise, your argument for everyone wouldn't be, I think they're better.
Factor. Yo, Mars, you keep running to Bill Russell. And what I'm trying
it's not just about Bill Russell.
Is, and then the Tim Duncan too. And what I'm trying to say
and
is
the Magic Johnson and the Kareem. It's damn near everybody on your list. There's a problem with.
Look. When if we're talking about Bill Russell and we're talking about tiers of basketball players, just the ability to hoop and skill wise, and Dub, you're nasty because this is why you have KD on your stupid ass list. But when we try to bring this up, all of a sudden, oh well, I just think KD was the better scorer and he played defense in Golden State and Steph Curry.
But at least I'm staying consistent with my logic. At least I'm staying consistent with my logic.
I do hate KD.
No,
you can hate it, but I'm not being inconsistent with my train of thought, though.
Can I finish my point? With all those top 9 players, those are top 9 talents of all time. I think when you go to talent with Bill Russell, he's a tier below them. So it doesn't winning aside, because if that's the case, Robert Horry can be on my list, right? Right, Mars?
No.
If we're just talking about winning, no. If winning factored in that heavy, then Robert Horry should be in my top 15. He should be in my top 10, right? No, because talent matters. So I would be
that doesn't make sense.
I would be
comparing the best player on 11 championship teams to a 5th best player on a few championship teams.
No, winning matters. We don't have to look at talent. That's why I'm trying to tell you. That's why I'm trying to bring.
That's not even comparable.
No, that's why I'm trying to bring. It's not, and that's why I'm trying to bring everything into perspective.
Okay, so can I ask my question?
Between Bill Russell and everybody else on my list, it's a significant gap, and that's why I can't overlook the fact that he won. I can't overlook that fact, but I also can't overlook the fact that it's a gap in between him and those other players, which is why he can't be put anywhere further in my top 10. But because he won, that puts him on my list. With that being said, accolades, Wilt Chamberlain's an accolade god. He should be on my list.
There we go. I was about to ask that one.
But he didn't win, so that's why.
He won 2. Hakeem won 2. They both won 2.
Yeah, but I got Hakeem.
Wilt Chamberlain went to the finals more than Hakeem.
I just want to hear more.
I clears him in accolades. I clears him in stats.
I got Hakeem as a better talent.
Yo, Rod, this sounds like a girl. This sounds like a girl to me where she has multiple boyfriends, but then she picks different reasonings on why she disliked each one of her boyfriends. So she just keeps getting on with a new one. It's like, yeah, he took care of me and everything, but he's boring. oh, this one treated me like garbage, but at least it was fun to be around him.
I told you on my list. You guys keep trying to run to a whole bunch of things. I told you on my list it's predicated on who I think was the better player. So I don't think nobody that's behind the person in front of them is better than the person in front of them.
That's not what you said.
That's
not what you said at the start.
I just clarified everything, and I said that.
There we go. I said that. I said you should have said that at the start, and none of this would have happened.
That 10 minutes ago. But you don't want to put that in your pipe and smoke it. But if Ticket would have told you that, you'd be smoking it right now. So I told you the person.
You saying I changed my mind during me arguing my list.
No, because I had to. Because you guys are gonna keep trying to run. Oh well, this. But what about this? But what about this? So now I'm trying to break it down to you guys in the
because it was inconsistent when you gave us the first criteria.
Now it's consistent. The person in front of the person is better than them.
There we go. So like I said, the winning doesn't factor as heavily as you said it did.
And in most cases, the person in front of the other person won more. In most cases.
No.
In most cases.
No.
Okay. No. All right.
Yeah, there you go. No,
okay,
that's not true.
All right.
Sure. Well, PSP said he wanted to hear my top 10. So LeBron, MJ, Kareem, Russell, Shaq, Hakeem, Duncan, Wilt, Kobe, Bird. That's my top 10.
You don't have Curry?
Nope.
Why?
All Magic. Curry and Magic
that's
both messed
nasty.
up.
And that's nasty.
Sure.
But chat, y'all not gonna say Moore's got an L list.
They're gonna disagree. They're gonna disagree. They're gonna disagree with my list. I'm under the belief. I'm under the belief that there's 12 top 10 caliber players in NBA history. The 10 I named plus Steph and Magic. They're the 12 best in history. Only 10 of them can make it. The reason Magic and Steph didn't make it is because I think they didn't have they weren't good enough defensively yet, and B, the longevity they have is far inferior to everyone else on this list. Larry Bird is at 10 for the same reason. His longevity isn't good enough, but I think he peaked higher than Magic Johnson. That's the reason he's only at 10. So me having Magic at 11 is strictly based off longevity. There's 12 players who I think are top 10 caliber.
More, Magic would be in there, right?
If I valued rings more, yes. Magic
and see, I value rings heavily, and that's why Magic is so high.
You can't go back to valuing rings heavily. You can't do that.
Mars, this is, it's like, it's okay. This was bad. This was really bad. It's all right, Mars. You're gonna keep. It's like you're gonna get to one rabbit hole to a different rabbit hole. So it's like.
You want my top 10?
Yeah, Jay. What's
your top 10? We're about to hit Dirk.
Is it Dirk,
Nowitzki,
Jason
Bob
Kidd,
Cousy?
We'll go Larry Bird second.
John
Jerry
Stockton.
West. John. We'll go Kirk Heinrich.
Kirk Heinrich. I actually love that pick. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll put Lucra behind Kyle Korver.
Jason Williams.
We'll put Jason Williams in there at 8. Scalabrini, he'd go 9.
No Jokic?
Nah.
What? If you're having Lucra, you gotta have Jokic.
Give me Mac McClung.
This list during Black History Month is crazy.
Yeah, Jay. That's crazy.
Oh, well, that was fun.
JD, how many topics did we get through today?
I mean, I didn't even have anything on the chat. Was slacking today, bro. Chat usually brings the heat, and they were just
hell host, bro. You relied on us, and then was getting mad at us
for the last month. The chat's just been giving us the topics, so I was that was on me. I got caught slacking. You guys caught me.
No wonder why he brought up that KD quote that nobody cared about. Like nobody cared about it. We heard it was like
Parsons.
We heard it was like I want to talk about CP3 again.
Nah, come on.
Why would you talk about? What's that talk about Chris Paul?
Ron thinks Russ is better than Chris Paul.
I don't think that's. I don't understand why you guys are acting.
No.
What's the reason?
You brought him up, and then
what's the reason?
Mars, you want to know what he did? He said, "You want to know why? Because Russ assists. He assists more than him." Then I told him that he did it, and then he did it again. He switched to one.
But Ron cares about assist to turnover ratio.
I care about what?
I thought he did.
You care about assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah, that matters a lot. That for sure does. But I'm gonna go to my ultimate reason why I said I believe Russ is a better player than Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll run to that. You'll run to some other points that were made throughout the argument. Like how I said, I think Russ is a more dynamic player than Chris Paul. I think it's harder for defenses to stop Russ. I think it's harder to stop a team led by Russ. I think Russ is a more dynamic player. And that's that. He scores more. He assists to the same level. He rebounds better.
That's it. That's it.
And he defends close enough. What do you mean? I'm done.
He does not.
He doesn't defend close enough, but that just sounds like a box score argument.
Chris Paul's a very overrated defender.
That's fine, but what you did was just say more points per game, similar assists, more rebounds. So that's just anyone could go on Basketball Reference and make that argument.
What do you mean anybody?
Anyone could do that.
If you watch the game, you see that as well.
Anyone could do that. I'm just saying, if I did that, I'm the stat guy.
I actually said that, Mars. I actually said that for you. Mars, I actually said that for you.
Once again, you guys went to 1 point when I said he's the more dynamic player and he's harder to game plan around and stop. Nobody said nothing.
How's it harder to game plan? Okay, because how's it harder to game plan around Russ?
Because how are you going to stop Russ?
Did you not watch how they stopped Russ
in
2020?
No, I'm not.
Did you not stop how they stopped Russ in 2020, 2019, 2018? Like, did you not see how he got stopped?
You're being nasty.
2016, did you not see how he got stopped?
Go to his MVP season and his seasons with KD.
Okay, so 2017.
Yeah.
I don't think he got stopped. I think they would have won that series if he played on the court more, because they actually won the series while he was on the court. That's fine. 2016, Golden State's whole game plan was centered around leaving guys like Russ and Andre Roberson to shoot the ball. That stopped the OKC offense because Russell Westbrook, as a point guard, couldn't space the floor. And he needed the ball to be effective. But when you go under every ball screen, it's easier to pack the paint on someone when you don't have to go over a screen. Okay, so that was the way they stopped Russell Westbrook.
That's been the case with Russ his whole career.
Okay, so there's been a game plan to stop Russ for 15 years.
Time out. Going under a screen has not stopped Russ his whole career. Russ is still going to get to the basket.
In the playoffs.
He's still going to facilitate at a very high level.
Stop him in the playoffs.
You said what?
No, he does assist at a very high level because, like I said, all you have to do is look at the box score to see that. But when we watch these games, we can see that. I'm not finished.
And you watch the game and see him.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Because when we watch those Russell Westbrook playoff series that you are talking about, we also see that when teams go under the screen, not only is it harder for him to get to the rim, the rim is more packed, and that leads to him making more reckless decisions and turning the ball over, something you care about a whole lot more. It also leads to the scoring you value a lot going much further down in terms of efficiency because he can't score from outside of 7 feet. So that's also a way that teams stop Russell Westbrook. So going under screens is actually a very valid tactic. Also, when he doesn't have the ball, teams helping off of Russ and him not being able to capitalize on that as much as a guy like Chris Paul could, like we saw next to James Harden. Chris Paul looked much better next to James Harden than Russell Westbrook did, especially in the playoffs. For that reason, the Lakers put Anthony Davis on Russell Westbrook and used him as a free safety defender because all they had to do was leave Russell Westbrook wide the fuck open and he couldn't do anything. That is not something you could do with Chris Paul. The game plan to stop Chris Paul is pray he gets injured. The game plan to stop Russell Westbrook is he can't shoot. We are aware of that. So we're going to put either one of our best big man defenders on him or our worst perimeter defender on him when he doesn't have the ball. Or we're going to make sure we pack the paint on him and either force him to take ill-advised shots, which we know he is prone to do, or he's going to make reckless decisions and turn the ball over. That's the game plan to stop Russell Westbrook. So if you could enlighten me on how teams stop Chris Paul without bringing up the fact he gets hurt, I'd love to hear it.
Yo, you just did that whole thing with Russell Westbrook, and that was beautiful. You acknowledge all his deficiencies that we do know that Russ does. Yes, he turns the ball over a lot. He's inefficient at times. But then you're still not hoping on the fact that I said he's one of the most dynamic players of all time.
Yeah, he's fantastically dynamic.
Russ will do all of that and still give you 27, 10, and 10. And that's something that Chris Paul won't do.
That's like I said, it's the box score. The argument is the box score. That's
it's not just the box score.
Is Russell Westbrook better than Jason Kidd? Is Russell Westbrook better than Jason Kidd?
Chris Paul because of the box score and
no, it's not because
27, 10, and 10 is what? If it's not the box score,
it's not because of the box score.
That's not box score. Then what is?
Yeah, what's box score if it's 27, 10, and 10 isn't box score?
Like how I just told you guys, he's going to score more points for my team. He's going to give.
You're just explaining what the box score is.
He's going to give you the same amount of playmaking. No, he's going to rebound at a better level. He's going to push the break. He's going to push the break. He's going to find the open shooters that Chris Paul does too. And so,
you're just explaining what the box score is. You're just explaining.
I guess if that's what if that's what explaining what the box score is, then that's what it is.
Scoring more points equals points per game. Rebounding more equals rebounds per game. Same level of playmaking, as you said, is assists per game. That's the box score. That's what you just did.
Let's talk about Chris Paul. So I can say that you guys.
Yeah, I asked you for the game plan to stop Chris Paul. I did, and then you went to the box score.
The game plan to stop Chris Paul is to let Chris Paul do what Chris Paul does.
No, it's for him to get hurt. That's the game plan, bro.
That's what Mars said.
It's for him to get hurt.
It's been series where Chris Paul's been hit.
What is the schematic way? What is the
Yeah, the 2014 against OKC, he choked in the fourth quarter, I think, of Game 5. That's
no,
fine.
No.
But what's the game plan? What do teams do that limits Chris Paul in the playoffs?
The same way that Mars broke down Russell Westbrook and the way to stop him schematically. How do you schematically stop Chris Paul?
Thank you.
It's a couple schemes with Chris Paul.
Yeah, they
Which
are.
is?
I mean, you throw different defenses at him in terms of the pick and roll. On top of that, my thing with Chris Paul is you just let him score. You let Chris Paul be the number one option, and that in and of itself is a formula for disaster.
So the different pick and roll coverages, what are you referring to? I've seen one pick and roll coverage slow down Chris Paul, and it was last year when he was 37. So throughout his career, because you didn't want me to use this current version of Russ, so we are gonna have to look past this current version of Chris Paul.
The thing about it is, and here's where Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook are both great within their own factors. Chris Paul, you're not gonna stop him in the pick and roll much. Russ, you're not going to stop Russ from getting to the rim. Hold on, I'm getting to my point. Relax. I'm getting to my point. So they're both unstoppable in both of those facets. So you're not going to – Chris Paul's going to be in a pick and roll for a large part of the game. You're not going to necessarily just stop Chris Paul. But here's the thing is you're going to throw different defenses at him. So you're going to double him sometimes. Sometimes you're going to play drop coverage. Sometimes you're going to hedge hard on him. Sometimes you're going to want the point guard to go under the screen. Sometimes you're going to want to switch the pick and roll. It's throwing different things at him like that. But like how I said, in terms of Chris Paul, how you stop Chris Paul, you're not necessarily going to stop him. But what I think is, Mars, you're not going to stop Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook. They're both two great basketball players. You're not going to stop them. The only thing you can do is hope to slow them down. But when it comes to Chris Paul, I just let Chris Paul go. Chris Paul, you be the number one option. Beat us with your scoring. And it's not going to happen.
And you think if you allow Chris Paul to go off, they'd be worse off?
Yeah, if you let Chris Paul score, if you let Chris Paul be that number one option, I don't think that they will win.
I seen him send San Antonio home, so I had to disagree. Number two, he also did a phenomenal job against the Clippers in 2021, but that's two.
The only way teams let Chris Paul score is when his co-stars are hurt, so he has to score more, and they lose because he's missing his best player. When guys like Blake Griffin are out for the Clippers, and Chris Paul inevitably loses because he doesn't have his second best player, and he then has to score more points.
So what did he do when Blake Griffin was there?
He then got hurt, and the one time they were healthy in 2014, they lost to the OKC Thunder. And I've admitted that in, I think it was Game 4 or Game 5 of that series, Chris Paul had the worst last 2 minutes of a game I've ever seen him have. But once again, that's not schematically slowing down Chris Paul. We've seen Russell Westbrook get schematically slowed down or played out of a series. With Chris Paul, what we've seen is A, him get hurt, B, his team get hurt, or see him lose to better teams. So that's different to being schematically stopped.
Like had bad series,
but even then,
I agree. He's had bad series, but that doesn't mean he was schematically shut down.
Wait, hold on, Mars. I want to address that. Hold on.
I'm asking you how he was slowed down, and you're telling me teams send different coverages on a pick and roll.
Time out.
But Mars, wait, Ron, because I need to say this, because let's say we do take your word for it on that, right? They have to throw a variety of different coverages to try and stop Chris Paul compared to Russell Westbrook,
where it's
literally
just one coverage.
It's damn near just one. It's damn near just one. So therefore, CP3 is the guy who's harder to stop in a playoff series, because it's not just one thing that you could go to try to slow him down. You need to throw a multiple variety of things in order for him to slow down. That therefore, you just made the argument for me that CP3 is harder to slow down in the postseason than Russell Westbrook. You just made the argument for me.
No.
Literally just made it for me.
No. Just because you're doing multiple coverages on the pick and roll does not make you harder to stop.
That's exactly what.
Considering none of them stop him, yes, it would in turn make him harder.
And nobody stops Russell Westbrook either. That I said.
Teams have stopped Russell Westbrook. Teams have stopped Russell Westbrook.
Saying that.
Teams have stopped Russell Westbrook.
When?
The Miami Heat in 2012 in the finals, Russell Westbrook did not have a good series. And we all are aware of the fact that A, they played on the fact that he wasn't a great decision maker, and B, they played on the fact that he couldn't shoot the ball. That is a series where he didn't. Yeah, he played Miami in the finals. He didn't have a great series. 2013, I think he got hurt, so I'm not gonna blame him.
He got hurt against the.
I think he got hurt against Houston and missed the Memphis series. I'm not gonna blame him for that. 2014, who did they play? The Spurs. Russell Westbrook, once again, I'm not going to blame him for the loss, but the Spurs were also made a very conscious decision of A, letting Russell Westbrook shoot, and B, they were able to load up on Kevin Durant for those reasons. 2015, they missed the playoffs because KD was hurt. 2016, I already relayed how Golden State played off of Russ and Andre Roberson to slow down the OKC offense. 2017, I said I'm not going to blame him because of the fact that they lost while he was on the bench. But even in that series, he was dreadfully inefficient for the reasons I've relayed. The 2018 Utah series, Dub wants to say he blames Paul George. That's fine. I'm blaming Russell Westbrook, A, for terrible decision-making, in my opinion, trucking up a bunch of ill-advised shots in a game where he took 20 threes, which is ridiculous for Russell Westbrook. And if you want to talk about all this great playmaking, in my opinion, when you're taking 43 shots, the playmaking isn't really elevating your team, in my opinion. But you want to say that that's not being game planned against? 2019 against Portland, with the worst defensive backcourt in the NBA, Russell Westbrook still struggled against a team with no rim protection because teams are able to play on the fact he can't shoot the ball. 2020 against Houston, I told you how they had Anthony Davis on Russell Westbrook. 2021, I think he was hurt for Washington, so I'm not going to blame him for that. And now we're at the present day with Russell Westbrook. I've gone through every year of Russell Westbrook's career and told you how teams are able to stop Russell Westbrook. And all you've done is tell me teams do Chris. All you've done and told me is Chris Paul.
I'm not.
And all you've done, I know you don't have to. All you said is teams play different coverages.
Series, and I got to leave in a second too. All I'm saying is Russell Westbrook's peak clears Chris Paul. Russell Westbrook at his best was better than Chris Paul at his best. The only thing you guys can say is that defenses go under Russ and that Chris Paul can shoot better and his assist to turnover ratio is better. Okay,
Chris
that's
Paul
cool.
makes better
as
decisions.
A point guard. Yes, so as a point guard, I'm getting to that. As a point guard, Chris Paul is a better point guard. He's a better decision maker. He's a better floor general. There's no denying that. As a player who's more dynamic and can do more on the basketball floor, Russell Westbrook does more than Chris Paul.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree.
That's just not true.
We can agree to disagree. At his best,
he rebounds better and gets to the rim.
Best, MVP. So you guys are going to tell me that any year Chris Paul's year was better than MVP Russ?
Yes.
Chris Paul just does a better job taking higher percentage shots, shooting more efficiently, playing the role. As Mars broke it down, how do you neutralize Chris Paul in the playoffs? You're hoping that he gets hurt.
Chris Paul neutralizes himself. He's a notorious playoff choker. And you guys are sitting up here capping for him in the playoffs. He's a notorious choker. He either chokes
or he doesn't underperform. He's never had.
What they call choking is that his team is giving up leads. His team is giving up leads. That's what makes him a choker.
CP3 has not dropped in the playoffs to the same. No, Russ is a notorious playoff dropper. That's what he does. He drops in the playoffs against Miami and Mars. Let me ask you this real quick. In Chris Paul's fourth year, right, on the Hornets, when he was having like 22 and 10 or 9.
I gotta go. But hey, when I come back up here, I'm gonna bring up all of Chris Paul's bad playoff series and all of his choke jobs, including his injuries too, because that counts as well. And I want you guys to sit here and give me an excuse why he didn't do it, since he's such a point guard and he's this, that, and the third. But all right.
Cool. Got you. Mars, I need to ask you this question. Do you think that Chris Paul in his fourth year, because I wanted to be fair and respectful and not take Chris Paul in like his sixth and seventh year in 2012.
Was Chris Paul's fourth year 08?
09, actually. I think that was when he was like 2 in MVP voting.
08, he was number 2 in MVP. 09, I don't know where he was.
Was he top 5? Disregard.
I'll check.
Disregard. Don't disregard. You know the caliber of person.
Yeah.
Right. Chris Paul in his fourth year. Do you think that he'll do a better job than Russell Westbrook and possibly beat Miami Heat?
Oh, if he's on that OKC team.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think they beat Miami?
We agree.
Considering how close that series was, and I think OKC lost on a combination of James Harden, bad decision making, and poor outside shooting. I think Chris Paul and that team being able to allow KD to not have to dominate the ball as much as he ended up having to, due to the fact he couldn't trust Russell Westbrook's decision making, and due to the fact that Chris Paul provides valuable floor spacing, he also provides probably being the best pick and roll player in the NBA, which would also help guys like Kendrick Perkins not look outrageous. I think that also makes James Harden's life easier. So yes, I think if they don't win that series, I think it's 6 or 7 games.
Cool.
They would have had a better chance with CP3 because of the efficiency and the playmaking and Chris Paul's IQ. That was also the series in which Magic Johnson said that was the worst point guard performance, talking about with Russell Westbrook. So we agree there.
Oh, that's all I wanted to know. I think they win. I'm not gonna lie, as a Heat fan, I really think
I wouldn't argue because people forget that series, even though it was 5 games, it wasn't like the 2014 finals where it was the 5 biggest blowouts ever. It was a close series that I think
was very competitive.
If OKC just made more threes, which sounds kind of crazy, but they shot terribly in that series. I think they could have won that series.
It was bad shot making, bad decisions by Westbrook. James Harden just didn't play particularly well. I mean, he picked the worst series not to show up. I just give Miami credit for the adjustments they made on defense, particularly how the way they were guarding KD.
Yeah, because KD wasn't a great playmaker at that point, so KD being shown doubles and etc. was just leading to him struggling a lot. So,
but do y'all want me to give my top 10?
Or... Yeah, CP takes that pressure off, in my opinion.
Got you. That's why CP3 is so great, man. I swear. I'm glad everybody knows. What's your top 10 PSP?
I thought about it very long and hard. I got MJ 1. I have LeBron 2. I got Kareem 3. Bill Russell 4. I have Magic 5th. Damn. I can't disrespect Magic. Bird, I got 6. Tim Duncan 7th. Kobe 8th. Shaq 9th. And 10th, I was kind of conflicted between Steph and Hakeem because Steph did revolutionize the game with the 3. I can't ignore the back-to-back MVPs, becoming the first player to win the MVP unanimously. But I can't ignore what Hakeem has done. So I'm going to give Hakeem 10. So again, MJ 1, Bron 2, Kareem 3, Bill Russell 4th, Magic 5th, Bird 6th, Tim Duncan 7th, 8th, Kobe, 9th, Shaq, 10th, Hakeem. I like Tim Duncan over Shaq and Kobe because I think Shaq underachieved. As great and as dominant as he was, I thought later on in his career, I thought he underachieved. Had he taken better care of his condition, I think Shaq would have won a couple more MVPs, a couple more championships, a couple more finals MVPs. I just like Tim Duncan because of the consistency. He played from 97 to 2016, 19 years, 6 finals appearances, 5 championships, 3 finals MVPs, greatest power forward ever. So that's how I look at it.
I like your list. I whether or not I agree, I just like that it's consistent. You can see as you go through the list, you can see that you value success, you value accolades, you value a player's talent, you value longevity. You can see that as the list goes down. Whereas with some people, the list makes absolutely no sense. So I like your list. Whether I don't agree with Magic at 5, obviously that's fine. But I just like lists that are consistent. Whether or not I agree with them means nothing. As long as someone's consistent, I can't tell them what to value with their list. So I like.
I'm shocked he didn't have Magic top 10 though. But
I mean, he's at 11. It's just like I said, I think there's 12 players who are eligible to be top 10. And a lot of people don't rate Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain because of the era they played in. So for most people, Magic and Steph would probably be in the top 10, and you just take Wilt and Bill out, which I have a list where I don't include Wilt and Bill for that reason, and they're both in the top 10, at 9 and 10. But when I do include them, 2 people have to miss out. For most people, it's usually Hakeem and Steph who miss out, and they're the 11 and 12. But for me, it's just Magic and Steph who miss out. So that's why 2 people have to miss it, and it's unfortunate.
Man, I'm convincing Low on the Kareem train. I can't wait to convince him on the Magic train, bro. Magic got to die. I mean, no.
Whoa. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Whoa.
I apologize.
Clarify that, please.
I didn't mean die. I mean, in this top 10 list, like, he just got to be up out of there. He got to go. Sorry.
That was insane.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like Magic. I hope you have a long life. I apologize.
By the way, to greatest in the chat, I have Magic and Bird both below Kobe. So, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but sorry.
There you go. All right, let's get up out of here. Dub, final words.
Man, Ron said he was gonna cook me today, bro. Y'all seen the chat, and this was a Ron roasting session, bro. It was bad. So, Ron, El host.
Mars.
I need everyone to call Ron the box score merchant.
Yeah, that was crazy. Is that your final words?
Yes. No more trade James Wiseman, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was wondering actually what your final words would be after that. PSP.
Pleasure. Thank y'all for having me on the show. It was an honor and a privilege. Can't wait to watch the panel on Tuesday. I want to see Mars go at it with Ticket, because I just feel like Ticket goes out of control with his crazy logics, but I just love the way that Mars keeps cooking him. So that's all I got to say.
Make sure you check out Lucra. Link in the description below. Use code Players Choice. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do other things, man. We will catch you on Wednesday.